6:30, and we will first start with the town electors meeting to approve the tax levy. This is a meeting for all our residents to vote and motion for our 2026 town tax levy. Please be aware that the property taxes you get include multiple taxes: the county, the school district, the lake district, the sanitary district, and any other entities that are on there. The town's levy makes up approximately 13% of your property tax bill. It'll vary every year depending on how much everyone else includes for their taxes, but that's typically the amount. So we'll get going on to number 2, verification of notice.
The meeting was properly noticed.
Okay, we'll move on to number 3, public comment on the 2026 Town of Oakland budget. If anyone would like to make a comment, please come forward and state your name.
My name's Todd Tooten, and I wanted to express some concern over the $900,000 debt in this proposed year's budget. I know the debt limit that you have, but $900,000 is 30% of the township's expected revenues for the next year, and it has gone up significantly. So I'm kind of urging just special attention to that, not in an alarmist way or in a critical way. But I would like to make some comments about the context of that debt. First, tonight, I know it was given in written form, a status report for the existing arbitration demand. You had an arbitration demand action filed in June of 2024, and there's been no arbitration, and there's been some discussion, and the bottom line is the audit that they're trying to complete still isn't complete. That audit, when it comes to you, will deal with liquidated amounts. You know, they'll give values of the trucks and things like that that are ascertainable. But there are at least 3 things I'd like to bring up that are not ascertained and are not ascertainable, but could wind up coming in the future. I'm not saying they will. In fact, I think some of your prospects of success are very, very high. But first, there are 2 separate Family Medical Leave Act claims pending against the district, not Oakland, against the district.
What district could you be more specific?
Get the correct title, Cambridge Community Fire and EMS Commission. And Town of Oakland has what I would call prorated occurrence-based liability if those matters result in liabilities to the district prior to January 1, 2025, which is the date of your divorce from the district. And those claims, I don't know anything about them, but they're out there, they're unresolved, and they've been pending a while. There is, in addition to that, a wrongful termination case filed in federal district court. The plaintiff is Jason Correa. Maybe you know him. Anyway, that is also pending, unresolved, and it's got I'm not representing you, but in my opinion, he's probably not going to maintain it in federal district court because of subject matter jurisdiction. But there is a state law claim in there that can be reasserted. So that may not go away. Even if the federal case is dismissed, it might get filed again. And he's asked for a jury trial and looks excited about it. So I'm just saying that those things can create some clouds on the horizon with respect to financial responsibility the township, because allocations can depend upon who others among the other four, towns are financially responsible to respond in damages. Because if the judgment is joint and several with respect to the constituents of the district, like a partnership would be, I don't know that it is, but these are things you might start thinking about. What is the possibility that a claim will come back? Where is that audit? It's been delayed 1.5 years. With greater information, you can tighten up what you know about the potential liabilities of the township. And it doesn't bear directly on your budget. You're going to have to wait and see. You're not really in control of these things. But with a $900,000 debt and clouds on the horizon, not dark clouds, I don't think. But the problem with claims like this is, even if the probability of an adverse result is low, the amount at issue is high. So the risk is there. So I probably said more than you needed to hear. Again, I'm not trying to
Thank you
make...
for your comments. We really can't discuss right now. The audit is not on our agenda, but we will keep those things in mind. But anything after January 1st, 2025, we are not responsible for, I can tell you that.
No, you are if the occurrence occurred before that date.
No.
And occurrence-based liability is completely different than claims made.
Well, we will keep that under advisement. We can't really discuss that topic right now since it's not on our agenda,
Okay.
but we appreciate the
I'm just
information.
saying, remember me talking about Enbridge's insurance? The pickle here is, do you have occurrence liability that, your insurance under the district, I'm sure, expired when you left, January 1. But the occurrence, may have given rise to the liability. The insurance would have been claims made, and you could be in the middle. So I would worry, is what I'm saying, and check into it.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else like to make public comment? Brad? Did you want to make public comment? You had your hand raised, so I thought you wanted to come up.
Just be aware, Jason was the deputy director of Cambridge EMS, and he was let go approximately about a month after Mr. Blount was let go. So I'm not an attorney, I'm not representing you, but to my knowledge, that was a year after you guys were here, so it should be okay.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, seeing no additional public comment, we'll move on to number 4, authorize town board to adopt the 2026 town tax levy pursuant to Wisconsin State Statutes 60.10, parent 2, parent A, according to the ongoing resolution from the town of Oakland special meeting on November 29th, 1986. So we can move to approve the tax levy. Our tax levy covers all of our annual costs, so the cost of our staff, which includes our clerk, assistant clerk, it includes our police officers, our public works staff, and it covers our emergency services for fire and EMS, like I said, police, our boat launch. We fix the roads with this tax levy. All of the services that we provide to our residents is included in this budget. We have in our budget also grants that we apply for and receive, and other monies that we try to get from the state to reduce our budgets. We've gone over this budget a couple of times already in great detail. So it's all here for us then to approve the tax levy. At the electors meeting, we do not approve the budget itself, though.
Just the mill rate.
Just the mill rate.
And the mill rate is 2.07.
What was that again?
The mill rate for 2026 is 2.07 compared to 1.82 from 2025. So our mill rate has gone up 0.25 in a year.
Did anyone have any questions?
So the tax levy
Is the mill rate.
okay.
It is the mill rate that we're approving the mill rate and the levy. The levy is on your budget. Oops. It is the first line on your budget, the $1,227,260.45. And that number is derived from the municipal levy sheet, which the state of Wisconsin gives us, and then our borrowing from previous years. That's what makes up our municipal levy.
So do the electors have this information?
They do not. We did publish a budget with those numbers in the paper, and it was posted, but we didn't have a handout for tonight. But it was posted, it was on our website, so those were available.
So, but you didn't print out the,
I did not. We talked about it today, and we got busy doing other things, and I did not print it out. I can go print it out tonight.
I guess it would be up to the electors if they wanted to have it printed out.
That's their meeting, so yeah.
Right.
It's a good idea to have a copy
think
for
so,
someone to
too.
see.
Yes, I think we need to have them,
I
have
will.
that available.
I will go with it.
So the 2026 budget mill rate that we're approving, the 1.227, that's with the loan included?
Yes, that's everything.
Okay.
But
That's last year's loan included. Can't be it's the last year's loan. It won't be, it can't be the loan that we're going to talk about taking out after this meeting, right? I'm confused on that part.
and it's under town property taxes.
So there's a set amount we get by statute from the state, right? And then in addition to that, makes up this other number, which is included.
When
The-
she brings the worksheet, I don't know all of the ins and outs of it, but when she brings the worksheet, it shows you what the amount is that the state or county or whoever it is says that we can have, and then it works through some other things that are added. So I think it will make more sense after you have that in front of you, and Susan can go ahead and answer your question, Jimmy.
Bruce and Jason, do you want a copy?
No, thank you.
Jimmy has a question for you then.
Yes.
Just to clarify, again, the state allows us to
Just-
levy so much, but that number, the 1.227,
Yep.
that's the amount the state allows us to do plus the borrow or plus the loan?
Plus what we borrowed.
What we borrowed,
The
okay.
state of, in 2025.
Correct, okay.
The state of Wisconsin allows us to levy $544,536. We had a short-term loan. The principal was $567,950 with an interest payment of $30,213 for a grand total of $598,181.50. We refunded some taxes to two taxpayers this year, and we were allowed to put that charge back onto the municipal levy. And one amount was for $1,034.31, and the other charge back was for $2,204.66. And then we have our Ripley Road grant, and principal and interest payments is $81,321.29. And if you add all that together, that is $1,227,260.45. That's how I came up with the number.
So why is that under general property taxes?
Because that's our municipal levy. That's what we will collect in property taxes.
Oh,
When you get your tax bill, that's the amount that's divvied out among all of the property tax, is that $1,227,260.45.
okay. I'm not a math genius.
And the mill rate determines how that $1,227,260.45 is divvied up.
The mill rate will be used with the property values, whatever your assessed value is, to determine what the Oakland portion of your property tax is. And then there'll be a different mill rate for the school district, the county, and all the other ones, and then they will all be placed on the property tax.
And as Laura explained, the town of Oakland, the town of Oakland portion on your property tax bill is about 13% of your property tax bill. The larger section belongs to Madison College, to the school district, to Jefferson County, to the sanitary district, and the Lake Ripley Management District.
Okay.
The largest part is K-12 education. That's about 50%. And we have no control over their budget.
And there's saying the budget went down, I think, this year. Okay, that's not here or there.
Correct.
Correct. So we would need a motion to approve this mill rate tax levy.
Yeah, we have to approve it.
Yes, we
have. I will make the motion to approve the tax levy as, 2026 tax levy as presented.
Would anyone like to second that motion?
You want to say the exact number?
I'm going to put it in the minutes because we'll need that for.
$1,227,260.45.
Yes.
I will second that.
Okay, so all the electors can vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Any denied? Say nay. Okay, motion carries. All right, our last on our agenda is to adjourn from the electors meeting, and we'll go right into the monthly meeting.
And can we do the Pledge of Allegiance then?
Yes. Would anyone like to move to adjourn?
Sure. So moved.
And second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We'll go in at 6:50 to our monthly meeting. Before we get started, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Verification of notice?
The meeting was properly noticed.
Okay. We'll move on to public comment, and this is of a general nature. Okay. Seeing none,
I have one comment. We received this arbitration letter from Michael that he had promised. So this is public comment, or public.
this is a correspondence.
Okay, so we can talk about that at correspondence then?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we'll move on to recognition of Susan DeScenzo. For those who don't know, Susan will be retiring. This is her last full week. She'll come back as needed to help out. This is our new clerk, Wendy Tangway. We're very happy to have her here too. And so I hope that you will get to know her. And we're really happy that she is here, but at the same time, we are going to be missing Susan. I have a resolution to read, and then anyone who would like to comment after that is welcome to do so. Whereas Susan DeScenzo, Town of Oakland Clerk Treasurer, has retired after 6 years of outstanding emeritus service as the Clerk Treasurer of the Town of Oakland, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. And whereas throughout her many years of service, Susan has served the people of the township with fairness and dedication. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Board of Supervisors, do hereby extend to Susan our sincere and grateful appreciation for her dedicated services to the Town of Oakland. Our congratulations and our best wishes for continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come. And adopted at the Town of Oakland this 18th day of November 2025 by the Town of Oakland Board of Supervisors. I want to say that I will personally miss Susan a lot. She was a great help when I became chair, and she's really done a great job for all of us. I see her working on a regular basis, and she's always hardworking and always very kind and courteous to all. So thank you, Susan.
Amen.
Yes.
And
Thank
would
you, Susan.
anybody else like to?
Sure, I'd like to say a few things. You bet. I'd just like to thank you for your service, 6 years. I can personally speak to Susan's great work, and anytime I would stop in during the day, and I'd have these exact questions. No different than I did tonight with Susan, and she would always stop whatever she's doing and explain it to me the best that she could so I could understand it and go back to work. So I really appreciate that. I'm sure the folks of Oakland Township also appreciate that, so thank you.
Yes, I agree. Thank
And-
you very much. I ditto on Jimmy and the resolution and everything. You've been such a good help.
Thank you.
Does that include your service as assistant?
Yes.
As deputy as
Yes.
well?
Yes, and thank you to the Board of Supervisors, past and present, for giving me the opportunity to work for the Town of Oakland. I've enjoyed my time here very much. I will miss all of you, but I need to go for personal reasons. So, but I will be back to visit.
Oh, and,
Welcome in the cheap seats back here.
Give me just a few minutes, Brad, and I'll be right back.
we all thank you
Yep.
so
Yes,
much.
thank you so
We're gonna
much.
miss you.
Okay.
And welcome.
Yes, and
Thank
welcome. Okay, we'll move on to the oath of office for clerk treasurer. Susan will do the honors.
It is my pleasure to introduce Wendy Tangway as the clerk treasurer for the Town of Oakland. I have worked with her for the last 10 days, making her familiar with some of our programs, getting her credentials updated, helping her start the training, and I believe that the town of Oakland is in good hands with Wendy. So I'm going to officially swear her in as clerk treasurer. I, Wendy Tangway,
I, Wendy Tangway,
having been appointed to the office of clerk treasurer,
having been appointed to the office of clerk treasurer,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of my office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of my office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Here we go.
See how quick she's out of here?
Well, welcome, Wendy. We're
Thank
very
you,
happy
Laura.
to have you. We're here to support you in any way we can.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. So we'll move on to approval of minutes from October 21st and October 28th, town board meetings. You have in front of you in the green, an amended the October 21st meeting
were a
minutes.
couple of-
There were just a couple of typos that we corrected. Otherwise, nothing's changed.
Okay. So this is the correct one?
That is the
Yes,
corrected one. Yep.
on the green.
Typos were just spelling from what we were received in the packets?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It was something with the ADU section and just the Enbridge update was just changing to soil vapor extraction pilot test.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 21st meeting.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Jimmy's motioned and Joyce second. All in favor of approval of the October 21st meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move on to the minutes of October 28th. It was a special town board meeting. So you have those minutes in front of you as well?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the October 28th special town board meeting.
Okay, Joy motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Jimmy second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the October 28th meeting minutes, say aye.
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 Do you want us to
Opposed?
sign this one?
Okay, motion carries.
Laura, did you need a signature on the bottom of these?
I'm sorry, what's
Do you
that?
need signatures on the bottom of this one, Susan?
I think-
Yes.
No, because we'll
No?
do it on the green one, because
No, the special meeting one, I
the
think.
special meeting is fine.
It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to Chief Russ from our Lake Mills Department. Would you like to come up, please? Thank you for coming.
Yeah, good evening. So you should have all gotten the reports from the fire department. Just a couple of things to take a look over. Our staff level remaining the same. We've seen an uptick in our responder response, which is always good. We were down in the 7s. We appear to be up in the 8s. So even an extra person, an extra body really does a lot of help and assistance on scenes. Finalizing the budget for this month. The city should be voting on that next week to finalize everything. Our biggest thing that we're going to be doing in capital is going to be a UTV project, which the City of Lake Mills Fire Department has never had a UTV. This will be adding another resource, especially out in rural areas. A lot more people are out recreating in rural areas. We've got a lot of wildlife management areas that we get out into or where people are out walking, and this is just going to give us an avenue to get out there. October was Fire Prevention Month for us, and our big focus was on lithium-ion batteries. That was kind of the national statement for the year, was focused on that. And we do see a lot of fires around the area that are suspect to lithium-ion batteries, so please make sure that everybody takes safety and caution with those. Recommendations are don't leave them sitting on the charger so that they just continually charge. The idea is to, once that they get to their green status, remove them from there, so that way they're not on a continual charge basis. And then the weather's turning colder. We've already had some skim ice out on the mill pond off of Rock Lake. And we're gonna be starting to look at ice rescue training as soon as we get about an inch out there, so.
Wow.
Any questions that you might have for me?
Any questions?
Received your letter in the mail?
Yeah, it was very
Donations?
good, thank you.
Yep, that is our annual mailer that we send out to all the district that we cover and protect. So I know for the town of Oakland, it might be a little bit new to see that one from us, a little bit of a shocker maybe for some. But it is a good source for us to, what we use the money for is to make our job a little bit easier for our paid-on-call members, making sure that we have updated tools. And our last year's focus, as the letter said, was to revitalize our dive unit. We are basically one of the only departments in Jefferson County who has some large open body water area other than the rivers. And the county dive team is more of a recovery basis versus a rescue. I know that they can come out and do rescues. It's a matter of how much time to get ready and things like that. So with us, we look to be ready, you know, within several minutes from the notice and get out on the lake as quick as possible to potentially make a recovery.
So you have
Or
to
rescue.
bear with me, just, you're with City of Lake Mills then?
Yes.
Okay. I will know that for the next meeting.
And by the way, since there's been a change, I'm going to need someone's address for emails
I can give that to you.
because yours is linked to you.
My emails are automatically
You forwarded?
forwarded to her, but you should probably
Yeah.
get her contact information anyway. So she's not gonna miss an email?
Yeah, I did. I figured that was probably
Yeah.
what was going to happen.
But I'll give it to you.
We'll get that to
So-
you, for sure, and all, you know, everyone that we need.
Also, this last year, we bought new extrication equipment. We are starting to transition to battery-powered lithium-ion caution, but we're transitioning to lithium-ion battery-powered tools. It just makes it easier. You don't have to carry a hydraulic pump generator out on scenes and stuff like that. So it just makes it easier for us to get out and start stuff.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to presentation by Chief Bruce Peterson, Fort Atkinson Fire Department. Thank you for coming, Chief Peterson.
Thanks for having me. As you recall, when we were doing our contract negotiations, one of the things we committed to was to do a annual budget presentation to kind of go over our numbers and some of our major objectives for the year and kind of put the budget in perspective for everybody. So we didn't have PowerPoint, so I printed them all out for you, so feel free to follow along. A lot got done in '25. The three most notable ones were our ISO rating was dropped to a class 2, and we spent some time talking about that, but that was a significant achievement for our department and puts us in the top 5% of the departments in Wisconsin and in the nation. And that was a direct reflect of the investment by both the townships and the city of Fort Atkinson to achieve that. We spent a lot of time on it, but we successfully negotiated a really great contract between the 5 townships we serve in the city of Fort Atkinson, and appreciate the working relationship we have, and I think it was a breakthrough contract that provides long-term stability for not only the city, but for all the townships, predictability, and really a great partnership. So that is, I think, a model contract I think others will look to follow. And then just after that, we negotiated a new contract with our firefighters local 580. That was a 4-year contract, and main issues there were improving the starting pay and top pay to align with the median in the area. And our firefighters were significantly lower than all the comparables we had. So we were able to bring them up to the median. And I don't think they're ever paid what they're worth, but we made a lot of strides to get there. one of the things that was important to me when I got here was to expand our community outreach. This year we had a elderly fall prevention education program where we went to facilities and worked with groups on teaching the elderly some strategies on fall prevention. And we also worked with hospice in Fort Atkinson to improve our care and treatment of those special needs patients and improve the communication between our department and hospice, which is real important at their stage of life. We expanded our fire prevention activities, and as you know, we hosted a Public Officials Day, which we look to do every couple of years as new leadership comes into the townships and the city. Making sure I'm not, we also have invested heavy in education. So we have 2 people in paramedic school right now that are full-time members and 1 person in EMT advanced school. And we've also been selected to pilot a program with ultrasound, handheld ultrasound units on our ambulances to assist us with cardiac calls. So if you flip the page there, I gave you a chart of our staff. We hired 3 new members this year for our full-time staff and 7 new members for our part-time staff. And we had 3 significant retirements from long-standing members of our department. So at this point, we have 39 total members, 16 full-time and 23 part-time. So our initiatives for 26, which will tie into our budget, is expanding our fire readiness, which includes adding training on a monthly basis and also a weekend basis, including specialty certification and drills, and improving our joint training with our mutual aid partners. We have 2 in school, so when they get out of school, we have a lot of work to do with the new full-time medics to make sure they're up to speed, and including the addition of our ultrasound scanners and new ventilators we're putting on the ambulances. Early in 26, we're going to start a part-time recruitment campaign to try to increase our numbers of part-time staff, and mainly working with the younger people in the schools to try an apprentice program to bring them in earlier. And as always, we work on our fleet. We'll be putting a new battalion vehicle in service next year and a new rescue boat, and turning one of our engines into an advanced life support engine, which is basically a mini ambulance. It'll carry a lot of the drugs and equipment the ambulances carry, which expands our EMS reach. When all of our ambulances are busy, we're able to send an advanced life support engine out to the scene while we wait for a transport engine. We're also going to continue to expand our elderly fall prevention, and one of the things that we really want to do is expand our CPR program. We do a lot of CPR training, as a lot of departments do, but mainly it's for institutions. So we've been overwhelmed with them, but we haven't been available for the public at hand. So we'll be teaching public CPR this year, and also Stop the Bleed program. We've initiated a new self-reporting program for our fire prevention, which will really help us inspect the 700 properties that we're responsible for each year. So if you look at our capital improvement program, and as you know, the Chair, we spent a lot of time looking at this when we were doing our contract negotiations, and able to project out 10 years of what our expenses were going to be, which really brought the costs down for everybody as we were able to amortize that. So in late 26 or early 27, we have our ambulance that's been on order due, and then 28 we'll be receiving the engine that we just placed the order for last month. And in addition to the portable rescue craft and the battalion vehicle that we will be putting in service next year. The good news is that there's no major purchases for 6 years after that, so it'll give us a little bit of a breather. So the next page shows our funding. We really operate under 2 separate budgets, an EMS budget and a fire budget. And so that chart shows you there where our expenses go. And on the left side, you'll see where our EMS revenue comes in, which the bulk of it is for our EMS service. For when we bill for service, the bulk of our EMS costs are bore by that. One thing you'll note on that is besides the employee benefits going up as they do in every industry, we're responsible for our EMS supplies. So we purchase everything we use on the ambulance, we have to purchase and supply. And like everything else, those have gone up significantly. So we're doing everything we can to keep those costs under control. So the next page talks about my second budget, which is my fire operations budget. And obviously, the majority of that's taken up with our full-time salaries and our employee benefits. The one thing to notice on the bottom there are part-time salaries, which was 6%. So it was about $100,000. And that's an incredible return on our investment for all the part-time staff we have and all they do for our department. For just $100,000 is an incredible value. And we really appreciate and need their help in our department. The other significant expense we have and continues to rise is the fleet maintenance. So we'll spend about $80,000 this year on our fleet maintenance. And that's a cost that we've been able to keep under control since the village invested heavily in their new garage. They're able to work on a lot of our vehicles ourselves rather than having to send them out. But that's a cost that we continue to watch and continues to rise and is always something we're doing everything we can to do as much in-house work as possible. So to get to the last page, which is really what you want to hear, what your costs are. On the right side there is what our full budget is for 26, and on the left side I broke it down for Oakland Township. As you recall, rather than having one set fee or a per person rate, we broke it down into those 5 different categories. EMS operations, fire equipment, shared fire equipment, EMS capital equipment, and fire operations. And so you'll see how that's broken down. So your total fees for next year will be $156,715. As you recall, when we did our contract, we gave a good faith estimate on what this would be to help you go ahead and budget. And that came in at $160,236. So fortunately, we were able to come in a few $1,000s lower than that. And in the contract, we have in there that every year we'll update what our projections are for the next 9 years and so on. So as soon as we know, we'll give you an idea of what future years will be. And then about this time each year, come in with what the actual number is going to be. So I think that's everything. I'd be happy to drill down into any particular area if you have any questions.
I think you guys did an amazing job putting this together and how you forecasted it, how you showed us exactly what's coming out of where. I mean, this graph for the 156, it includes equipment, employee salaries, it's our total cost, and it's all broke down.
Correct, yep.
Yeah, that's amazing how
Thank
you guys do that.
I like the
Very nice
idea
job.
that you projected when you're going to get equipment,
Yep.
and that it's built in, so we're not going to get a surprise in 2 years or next year with a really large amount of money.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, and that was one of the reasons we all decided on a longer contract, so we could amortize those costs over the 20 years, which brought that cost down for everybody, rather than surprising boards of, now this year we're buying an engine and here's how much we're gonna need from you, kind of out of nowhere. So I think it was a win for everybody. It was a good cost sharing, and everybody's paying their fair share and basically the same amount for fire and EMS service.
Yeah, thank you for putting that together. I
You're
know it was a
welcome.
lot of work for you and the city manager.
Happy to
So,
do it.
yeah, I think it went really well. I do have, oh, and before I forget, and again, congratulations on the ISO rating.
Thank
That's
you.
a great accomplishment.
Thank
We're
you.
all really pleased with that, and, you know, very proud of
Yes, we are
of
proud
all of
to.
that. You know, you talked about the community outreach. Is that something that, you know, especially for elderly, is that something that the town of Oakland residents would be informed of and they could attend as well?
Yeah, and we can work to host a class here if you'd like, or include you on any of our correspondence. We've been working mainly in Fort, but with service groups. And it's been very, very well received so far. So whatever we can do to get the word out and help that population, we'd be happy to.
Could you do it in this building?
We'd be happy to, yep.
That was one of my questions too, about the CPR and the Stop the Bleed programs. if that would be something that you would come out.
Yeah, we'd be happy to come here and host a class for any of your residents, yeah. So, good thing about fire departments is we're really mobile
You have to
By
be,
design,
right?
right?
by design, so yes, we'd be happy to.
And I know
Yeah.
Chief Russ has said that they have a lot of training for CPR too, so
Right.
maybe between both, we could, have people that
Yep.
can come to some of, at some point with one of
Right.
you for that. That would be really
Yep.
helpful, I think, for the community, especially as our population ages. It's really
Right.
nice to have the outreach for them.
Right.
I know
Agreed.
falls are a big problem.
There are big problems, and a lot of them are preventable with some education, so that's what we're trying to do is lower our numbers, because a fall with elderly is a serious event. And there's a lot of studies to show the lasting effects of a simple fall has on somebody. So if we can do a little bit of education to remove rugs and put up grab bars and teach people how to shuffle their feet and what to do when they fall, it'll make life better for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
Good.
for doing that.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Very nice.
Great
Great.
job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate both of you very much. Okay. We will move on now to discussion and possible action on future of compost area. Thank you for coming up, Jeff. So we started this conversation last month with the budget. We're having some concerns with our compost area out there. People can drop off brush. We have brush from the 2 pickups around the town. And there are a lot of people that are using it, that are properly using it from our township, but it appears that we do have contractors still coming, non-residents coming, and it seems like there are some drop-offs that aren't allowed. So it's something that we do need to address. So Jeff?
I would like to stay on top of the issues before they get bigger. So if we have small ones, let's take care of them before they get out of control. Plus, when we do the brush pickup and we have residents drop off brush, which I encourage because then that's less for us to pick up, we don't like to burn. Firemen behind me don't like us to burn. And I did put something in the budget, and I'm hoping that goes through, but I understand if it doesn't. But we need to find alternatives if that's not gonna work. I don't want this discussion to stop. I want us to constantly, address this periodically, just so it's fresh in everybody's mind. It's a great service for people. Not too many communities have this, especially townships, and I think
I think it would be really missed if we didn't have it.
I agree. Maybe we start looking at hours, 6 to 6 instead of whenever. I mean, I come in here in the morning at 5 o'clock, somebody's dropping stuff off already. I mean, if I was a police officer, I'd wonder what was going on. So maybe we look at something like that too.
Did you ever check into a fence, the cost?
Yes. That's quite expensive.
As expensive as the grinder?
By the time everything's said and done, yes.
So-
Depending how you want to gate it.
Mhm.
Gates can get quite expensive.
Okay.
And the access for our town residents to be able to get through the gate. Do we man the
Right.
station and only have it open so many? I mean, this is all stuff ideas that pop up, but we gotta find the correct balance.
Yeah.
Is a good word.
I mean, I agree. I certainly do not want to see us stop doing it. I think it's a very valuable service for our community, right?
Right.
I think the first thing we need to address is that if there's abuse, which we hear there is,
Mhm.
we need to get that fixed first, right? You got to take these in steps.
Yep.
So if we concentrate funding on correcting the abuse, then we can gauge better
Mhm.
of volume, right?
Right.
So, and maybe the distance between, like you said, let's not forget it. Let's
Right.
keep the conversations going. Once we're able to analyze that data to show, how much volume came out of the abuse, and then you can get an idea of what's work is left to do, and then we have to decide as a group on how to process that work.
Right.
Either it be grinding, be it burning, be it rent the grinder for a year to see how that process works before we invest $100 and some $1,000 in gates and grinders. Take it step at a time, but again, it's key, like you said, it has to continue.
Yeah, we have to keep the conversation going.
Right.
That way everybody's aware of what's going on,
Right.
and all of a sudden, there is the option to hire somebody to come and grind like we did that one year.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you
That-
have the cost for that, it'd be great to hear that. Maybe,
That's our, the last time we had it done, it was $5,000 for 8 hours worth of grinding. Well, actually, it was 8 hours from the time he leaves till the time he gets back.
Mhm.
So,
How many
nice.
times a year would you need to do that?
no, we don't know because we haven't fixed the abuse, right?
Right.
Right now, we burnt I believe it's 4 times already this summer. We have burnt that pile.
What's the volume like during the year? Mostly summer when storms, or is there as much in the winter as summer?
I've been really surprised. We don't get any in the winter because the only thing we do get is if we get a wet snow and somebody, the pine trees break.
Right.
I mean, Christmas trees. That's what we seem to be getting in the winter months. Picks up around March and doesn't shut off till middle of December.
So if we concentrate again on investing some money to correct abuse,
Yep.
we could probably rent the grinder to come maybe 4 times during the summer, maybe 3?
If we know we're not going to burn, and we know we're gonna get the grinder in here, then the size of the pile would probably be like it is now, maybe a little bit bigger. And then we can concentrate on, okay, we're not burning it, that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna grind it, so we can space them out better. So probably maybe 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 maybe?
I guess it all depends on,
The storms, obviously.
storm.
It's a guesstimate.
oh yeah, it's guesstimate for everything.
I'm in full support of stopping burning. I'm not sure it's safe for you, for the building, for the big diesel
Oh,
tank that's out there,
we're just,
and the days it takes to burn it.
yes, we are one hiccup away from a disaster
Okay.
when we burn.
So that being said, it's a safety issue.
Oh, yes, yes. And
So the
I don't like the fire department coming out here with their lights going.
So if we concentrate on stopping the abuse again,
How
with
would
however we do that, either it's gating or it's hours, it's an ordinance where there's a fine, those types of things you start implementing so people know, hey, if I get caught down there, it's $500. They're
Well,
not going to do it anymore, right?
We do have cameras right now.
Yep.
I think we need to start looking at them more frequently. The problem without a fence is that they can go around the back. So if we fence it all, then there's only one way in, one way out. The cameras will be able to note everyone coming in, and that's a way to see, if you're coming in the next day and you have a couch there, which has happened in the past, you have a better idea of who brought that in.
How do they get in the back? What do you mean?
You can drive up the farmer's field driveway
Oh, okay,
And they
and
do.
come right around.
okay. Don't we have a camera out here?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
How'd
Now
you
we
know
do.
that, Laura?
She used it.
Well, I have this couch, I didn't know what to do with.
Mysteriously, there is a pile of busted up blacktop and concrete that's right on, just outside of our property line onto the neighbors. Don't know where it came from. I don't know. I assume it came from a contractor doing some work in a nearby area. Not to mention any names, but I did see some activity back there, but I don't know. But yeah, that didn't make it onto ours, but it could have easily done it.
Yeah.
So, but he's saying that a fence is going to cost as much as the grinder.
Well, I'm not sure we do a fence right away. I think we start again by cameras, posting fines, Start with the simple things, right? Before we invest 100 grand in a fence, right? And see how much that works.
Like
Then we budget for the renting of this grinder, so we're not burning, and we look at it in another year with more data before we throw another 100,000 at it, and just take it step by step.
I agree with
But we
that.
don't want to hinder the folks, the good folks, right? The folks like us who use it, right?
And
do
most
it
people
correctly.
are properly using.
Right.
I'm not saying they're all bad.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good
most people are
residents.
good,
We
right,
have
right.
residents that will correct people out there.
Sure,
And, because they don't want it, they don't want this service gone.
right.
But,
I thought the fence was going to be around 50,000
yes, but that's without any gates.
kids. Do you think though it would be helpful to at least have people going in and out in only one location? Do you
Oh,
think?
definitely, definitely. I don't,
The
I'm-
current, the current entrance is just that gap out there,
Yes.
isn't it?
yes. But we also have them sneaking out. They sneak out and go down the neighbor's driveway, which, I mean, that's trespassing on neighbor's property. And I don't wanna be a bad neighbor, you know? Because who knows what the future might bring. We might need him someday down the road for a favor or something.
Does a fence hinder your operations at all?
It will a little bit.
Okay.
To be honest, it will, but it also puts a safety factor in. I mean, we have people come out and they walk their dogs around the whole property. I don't think this is a safe spot for your dogs to be walking around the backside of where we have things.
Is it posted, do we have it posted or anything? Signage, and again, signage and fines go a long way.
We could
Before we
talk about-
invest 50 or 100 grand in a fence, I mean, we can try these other things first.
There are some issues on the other side here with their gravel piles.
Yes.
Jeff has told me that people do come in and help themselves to the gravel.
And the cold mix. Susan has chased people away
Mhm.
after hours when they know we're gone. If you're willing to accept, I mean, technically it's stealing. I mean, because that's future road projects that we're losing our material for.
Maybe people just think it's
Well, if
there
it's not
for the
posted,
taking.
Right, if it's not posted and it's not warned that we're gonna fine,
Right,
it's kinda, I'm gonna come in and take some mix, no one's gonna notice, right?
yeah.
Well, or my guess is that they think that they've paid taxes,
Correct.
so they're
And
entitled
I'm sure
to
you
it.
probably hear that. I pay
Yes.
taxes, I should be able to take what I want, right?
But then that's out of the direction of the main flow in. I mean, we're on the other end of the building here, where all our materials, and we've been trying to move things out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't always work that way.
I mean, do you agree that a step-by-step process as we analyze and collect more data to invest more money is the proper way to start?
As long as we do something.
Yeah.
And we stay on the steps. If, I mean, I'd like to see a fence, but I also would like to see where this all goes. I mean, we can put up all the signs we want, fine.
My concern is budget.
Oh, I understand.
And looking at the budget and the $900,000
Well, I really don't,
if we can step it,
I don't want to lose road money over a fence,
right,
because then we're going backwards.
right.
And we're sacrificing.
So if we can look at making steps.
So, I mean, if you're gonna, if you're gonna hold that over my head,
Well, it's not just you,
I know, I
it's,
know.
it's all of us.
But, you know, the Public Works, for years, the Public Works is the one that gets gutted for say, when things run short. We cut the road budget, because that's easy to do, that's a number. I mean, it's not a set number.
You're the highest percentage of the budget.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the reality of things, right?
right. So, I mean,
I'm willing to commit to a step-by-step, continually improvement process for this.
and I would like to do quarterly reports on
Okay.
this. I don't want to wait 6 months. I want keep you alert on anything that's going on.
I think it's a good idea.
If that's what we're gonna do,
If we stop the burning now, and we put in the budget to rent the machine however many times you're gonna request,
I think
And
we
we
need
look
to
at
stop the
signage?
burning.
Yeah.
We cannot burn anymore, and if that means we have to get a fence or some other method, we need to do it. I think it's too much of a liability. It's dangerous to be burning like that.
I don't think there's any problem there, is there?
Yeah, no, I don't want you to
I mean,
be
do we,
burning anymore.
do we look at, I mean, because we're
But I don't
discussing
know.
budgets, do you take the grinder out and you look at budgeting 20,000 for grinding,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I think that's what we do.
I don't know, I mean, we just don't, I don't wanna eliminate everything, and then when we gotta try to get rid of the brush, we don't have any,
An alternative, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
other than burning.
No, I'm suggesting that we put in take out the grinder for the 100 and some thousand, put in enough to rent it, enough times we think it'll work. We have another year, we got more data, we're making more steps, more progress, and see where we're at in another year. But we can certainly look at this quarterly, yeah. Because we gotta, in my opinion, we gotta reduce some of this $900,000 debt. And this would be a good step, I think, towards that.
Yeah, I'm willing to,
Don't, we do have a sign, we have signs out there.
we have signs all over the place.
Yeah, there are signs out there.
But we can't catch them because we don't have the cameras.
No, we have
Yeah, we
cameras.
have
We get the
cameras.
cameras.
We get cameras, but we're not reviewing the cameras.
Well, we review the cameras.
Or we're not issuing fines because we don't have an ordinance.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
That's,
So that
Okay,
would be
so-
one of the-
Exactly.
now we-
that would be
so
one of the
now-
steps.
Because
Okay.
we need to have ordinances for
Okay,
this.
so I think that we should have an ordinance. We should talk about fines. My proposal is for fines. I've talked to Jeff and Susan and Wendy about this and gave it some thought. I think we really make fines hefty. I would say if they're contractors get paid by their
People,
clients
right.
to get dispose of it. They shouldn't do it for free. I'm gonna say, let's do it something steep.
Yeah.
$500 if they're caught. If non-residents of other communities that
It's
aren't supposed to be.
it's a littering type, right? Be considered, I don't know what you want to call it, but we can draft an ordinance and
Yeah,
we can review
yeah.
it at the board meeting and,
Yeah, I think a lot of money for the,
What about charging businesses to drop?
we don't want them to drop.
If they're local, if they can prove that they're doing it local, I mean, from a local resident?
Well, we already banned the businesses from dropping.
Sure.
We
yeah, it was
already
banned a number of years ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
and there's
you-
a sign up.
And so I think it was banned because it became
Too
too
much
much
bulk.
Becomes
for us
abusive,
to
right.
handle in that location and
And
to,
we were getting,
was that the
tree
issue?
chunks like that coming
Oh,
in.
we were getting big trunks and stumps and anything that could
It's
come
not
in.
meant for that. It's
No,
meant for
It's meant
the
for,
brush pile that you'd clean up, in your spring and fall,
right,
in your leaves.
yep.
But we need to put fines on non-residents who are trespassing to and dumping, and then residents who are dumping materials that they shouldn't be. They should be fined as well. And then, that helps reduce that and makes it easier for the majority of the people who are actually using it properly.
Right.
And we want to continue for them.
And it might be that all our residents are abiding by the rules, and it's just the outside that are dumping that's making it look bad for everybody.
That's what I mean. If
Until we
correct-
start catching them.
Do you think we could do it with the signs we have right now and the cameras? Do we need additional signs, additional cameras? I mean, we have those things right now and it's not really helping. So how do we improve it with just those two items?
The ordinance, right?
Besides is there anything
We,
that,
we need an ordinance,
Mhm.
talked with the police department, and they will, well, I talked to one officer, and until there's a problem, they really won't look at our cameras until we have evidence of something, they do.
Well, there's nothing to enforce without the ordinance.
And there's nothing to
Right.
enforce.
so we can draft an ordinance in the next couple of months. You said this time of year, it's not really an issue.
No, it's slowing down.
It's
slows
slowing down.
Once the leaves are all in and, yeah, it
So-
slows down.
So we have time to think about how to do this ordinance in the best possible way to
Right,
get this in the right direction.
So I think we're off to a good start. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for, being able to flex with this. You realize the budget, I'm going to call
Oh,
it
yeah.
shortfall, the budget problem that we're facing. This will help.
like I said.
Plus, it'll give us data to do the right thing, so we're not wasting money.
Right,
And we can stop burning now. I'm all for it. And I think everybody else is too, because it's dangerous.
okay, so I'll, yeah,
Do you need a grinder right now, though?
I'll probably have to rent a grinder sometime this winter,
Okay.
to get rid of that pile.
Before the new budget kicks in? So do we have an estimate and then can
Well-
we pay for it?
I don't know if we have that in
I
our
don't know
budget
if
right
I'd
now.
be able to get it scheduled
Okay.
this quick.
And when you talk a grinder, are you talking the type like what you pull behind your truck, or are you talking
No,
a
we're
tub
talking a
grinder?
big-
or
It-
you're
The
trying
one
to-
we rent, well, we don't rent, we hire
It's
the
similar
guy.
to what your needs, what you wanted out there?
Yeah, but this is a whole bigger scale. This guy brings it in on a semi, it's actually a semi-trailer with the unit built on it. And he has an operator station and he just picks it up and puts it in
So
his tub.
he's larger than what you wanted
Oh,
to
yes.
purchase?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe that's the way to go for now with such a huge pile
So
out
that's
there.
25,000 if we rent one.
At the
Af-
$5,000 price, but I'm assuming it's probably six or,
Okay, well, so you would need one shortly after the new year then?
Yes.
To get rid of what you have,
yeah. 'cause
and
we're-
then possibly 4 times
Maybe
Right.
not
next
4.
spring.
Minimum of 4.
Minimum of 4, even if we correct the abuse?
So at 6,000, that would be $30,000.
Yeah. Yeah, at least 4.
Okay.
Because brush pickup is pretty good.
Okay.
And I would like to keep this pile at a manageable size.
Well, let's start with that. It's a
Yeah.
try. We don't know. It's a
We
guess.
can try, but in the long run, we need to see
If it works. Yeah.
if it works, and then it might be more cost-effective to purchase
Maybe.
equipment.
Correct,
Right.
yeah.
You know, so we could start this year, but if it continues, and we will definitely have to have a fence and,
Or budget for
Right.
a $100,000 grinder.
And we may have more money coming in another year or two also.
yes,
I
with
mean, a lot of
the,
things are happening that
right, the
will give us
solar
more
farm
revenue.
will have more,
Solar and
Oh, yeah, they're going to town on that.
solar and
The
you know,
residents.
additional
Additional
housing and
homes.
other things. So I think it's a win-win for all of us. If we can push a little bit out further, a little more of a minimal investment now, see how it works.
What is our spacing out there as far as, I mean, it doesn't look like a big, like it's a couple hundred yards maybe? That opening that, as you're coming up the driveway, that's the legitimate opening?
The opening to get into the back site's 40 feet.
40 feet. It's only 40 feet.
Yep.
So if we close that off and controlled it in some manner, and then we catch them going around where there aren't fences on, coming across neighbors and that like that, I mean, that's an obvious, you're doing something out of the ordinary if you're not wanting to come through the entrance that you've got.
True.
does the camera catch those?
I think once you got
Instance?
plate numbers there,
Yes.
and, I mean, those discussions should be had. I don't know at what point, enforcement is always the problem with ordinances, is how do you enforce?
We have one blind spot right now, but I ain't gonna tell anybody where it is.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna adjust that.
Yeah. Chief Russ?
Lake Mills, we're dealing with the same thing.
Okay,
I guess the one thing, and maybe you were trying to lead down this path, would be going to what Jimmy's saying about the enforcement part of it. Everybody's kind of ticking on the enforcement. I've seen one of the law enforcement officers peeking their head in and out.
yeah,
The cameras being quality enough
Okay.
to capture a good resolution is what is going to hold up your case when it comes to that. If you've got a camera system that's current that maybe is not able to read that reflection on the license plate, that might be something that you may want to look at. I don't know what your current video footage looks like, but getting that crisp, clean footage, that it starts recording actively at a good time, that it's not missing the license plate, and then it picks up and records, might be something to think about.
No, that is a good suggestion. Perhaps we need to just
Our clear,
practice with a vehicle to make sure that we could see it from all different angles.
we can, it has been a little fuzzy at times, but we can zoom in and bring in a plate, license plate.
So does the light come on with the camera?
It's motion activated, and it activates right away when you're coming up the driveway.
But the light comes on? Like, we have our,
No, it's,
blink.
it's It's got night vision, and I can
It
hook it
might
up,
be-
and pick up audio as
mean-
well.
We have the blink, the light comes on and it records. And you know where our driveway is, we can, when someone pulls into our neighbor's driveway, it comes on even. And that's a distraction too, to have a camera with a light. You know, the motion starts recording and also the light comes on.
Maybe just lighting in general. Maybe just having,
Oh, I got a lot of lights
you do?
already,
Oh,
all them yard lights.
okay.
But when the minute you pull up, that camera starts recording. If you go to the town, parking lot in front of the town hall, them cameras will kick in and start recording. If you go to the back, that one starts kicking in.
Okay.
So they're all,
So we've got coverage, so we know who's coming and going.
Yep.
And we just got to identify that.
yes, we just gotta make sure our
Your-
clarity is.
your problem.
Is there.
Okay, so maybe we
Okay.
review some cars coming and going, making sure that they're in the right locations, we can see
Yep.
the license plates. If we need to adjust, we can do so. And then that will help us.
Yes.
Do the signs say that there's a camera in
Yes.
use? I've never gone around to look, so
Yes.
does it say that?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It
That was
says,
the last thing we've done, and it's been a while, but post those signs.
It says surveillance cameras are in use.
Yep.
Okay.
And no contractor dumping or.
Yep, no contractor dumping, and, yeah.
Does it
Mhm.
say like only residents?
Yep, town residents only, no contractors, town residents only.
Okay, so it's properly signed.
Yep.
We'll have to add the ordinance number to the sign once we pass it.
Yes.
And then we'll be good to issue fines if it happens.
So do you have time on a weekly basis or whatever to review the cameras?
Yes.
Okay.
I, definitely Monday mornings, I walk around and see what the piles look like.
We can tell what's going on.
Every time the guys push up a pile, they pay attention to what they're pushing up, make sure there's nothing hiding. Leaves are a good place to hide stuff, but we pretty much destroy any leaf piles. We spread them out before we get them in a big pile.
So more documentation of what you see on the cameras
Yes.
needs to be done then.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you need to, look at that a little bit more on a weekly basis. Let's see what we can do. We'll come back with an ordinance. We'll have, of course, the attorney, but we'll have the police officers review it as well to make sure that they feel comfortable being able to enforce it. And then, of course, we'll all look at it. So I'll come up with a draft, and then we can, maybe we don't approve it the first month, we'll just review it and, discuss how if it works or if we need to make some changes.
And this would be a good time to discuss that there's gonna be changes as the tax bills go out. We can maybe put it in on the little brochure that we talk about what the town, you can
Oh,
do out here.
yes, with the
Just so
tax
people
bills.
are
That's a
aware
good
that
idea.
we are gonna probably.
Change is coming,
Changes are coming,
Yeah.
please be aware.
all over the website.
Right, we can put
Well-
things on our website. The
And-
ordinance would have to be
Posted.
published anyway.
Yep.
Post that. And we
But like
can-
you said, a little
Little
thing
thing.
in with the tax bills
Mhm,
is a
we
good
can do
idea.
that.
That's a
And
good
then-
idea.
Yeah. I think that'll be helpful. Do you feel comfortable with this as part of your operations? I mean, I think reducing the pile will free you and your staff up to do other road work.
Oh, gosh, yes. And then not burning, I can sleep at night. Because after you burn, there's weeks where that fire could flare up again just by moving the pile. And
So reducing your request for 100,000 to 30,000, so to cover renting for 2026.
I think that would be a safe number.
Is that-
We just
It's a
have to make,
guesstimate.
we just have to make it work after the first,
Right.
after calling around and finding what the prices are. If it's higher, then we just have to wait for the pile to be bigger.
Well,
We try it, that's all we can do. The first year we'll try, we'll have data to know moving forward.
Or I come begging in
but we
6
need to
months
put
after
something
that.
in the
Yeah, like a
budget for
30
you.
might be a good
Yes, we do.
placemaker.
We have to put something in there.
Yeah, we can start with a 30.
if you're comfortable with that number, Jeff, 30,000?
Yeah, I think that's a good number, is a good starting point. I mean, because that was 2023, I wouldn't think the price would go up that much. I mean, yeah, it's going up, but I don't know exactly. It would be
Gas came
crazy.
down.
Yeah, gas came down.
Everything's coming down.
Yeah.
I can't do the exact voice of you-know-who, but
All right, do we need a motion, or can we just move on? We're going to bring it back? Not sure we need a motion.
I think
but
we
do
do.
you-
We don't
Go
need
on
a
to the
motion
next
for the
item.
ordinance. I think I will make a motion that we will no longer be burning, and we will hire an outside contractor as needed to grind and remove the brush pile.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further comment? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
All right,
Aye.
thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you. Okay, so we are going to move on then to discussion and possible action to adopt 2026 budget. So you have the budget. Susan made a few minor changes. It's on your table. We reduced the police officers' budget by around $5,000 to $6,000 because we don't have to pay their training documentation in 1 year. We can extend that to 2 years. And then Susan, what was the other items that you?
The other item was that for the short-term, for the short-term principal, I had the interest added in there with the principal, and I took out, I basically had the interest in there twice. So
Okay.
what I did was reduce that principal number, and then the short-term interest is on the other line, so that took it down a little bit.
Okay.
So that extra, or that duplication of the expense is about how much total? You said it was over 30,000 or something?
It was right around 30,000.
Okay.
So if I did my math correct.
But the borrowing that is in the budget is still $926,230.50.
so we can
And
reduce
that reflects the change in the police equipment budget and the interest in the short term.
Okay. Well, since we just talked about it, let's go to the Public Works and revise that section.
Yeah, before you get to that, I just want to make a couple comments, and yes, I think that's a great idea. I just want to make a couple comparisons just on the increases, so we have an idea as a board of what we're looking at. So from the 2024 to 2025 budget, the increase was roughly 16%. That's the 489 to the 567.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the increase from 24 to 25 as a comparison.
What page are you on, Jimmy?
I'm on page 3. Roughly a 16% increase between those 2 years. The increase that we're proposing before we reduced it, of Duff's budget, was a 64% increase, okay, in the budget. That's how we got to 900 and some thousand. So I just want the board to hear that.
So
Okay.
you're looking at the short-term loan?
I'm looking at the 567,950.
Yes,
That's the
That's
short
Yeah,
term loan.
The
to the
short-term loan.
932. I'm looking at the increase, proposed increase is a 64% increase,
Oh, okay.
okay? do the math, and I think I did it correctly, I think it's a 64% increase. Now, I
That can't be
understand that
right,
you had an
Jimmy.
addition, and now we're talking about a $70,000 reduction, so that will come down a little bit.
That can't be right, Jimmy, because 567 is less than half of 926. 64%.
48%? Where's,
Yeah.
who can do math? Maybe not, is it
Not me.
49%?
I have a calculator.
Calculator.
Laura's doing that.
Yeah, it'd be underneath, yeah. Under the 50%.
Yeah, I see what you did to get, it's 1.63, so yeah, it's probably 37% increase.
Because then the next year we have to be able to borrow to pay that off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then plus whatever else we need to borrow
Right,
to
right.
keep afloat.
so that's just some comparisons of increases I saw. For the revenue, as I did the math on the revenue, double check that, but the revenue didn't come in. What about it? Looks like a 28% increase, if I did the math right. So the 1.5 million budget to the 25 to the new budget of 2.969, that increases quite a bit.
Again, what page are you on?
That would be page 7.
Oh, the 1,512,000 is what we've spent so far in 2025.
So the two,
That isn't,
That's not a full,
that's just,
That's actual, right?
That's actual.
that's actual.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right here.
so the,
So
yeah, the numbers we
actual
need to look
as
at is
compared to-
the
oh,
2,327 to the 2,964.
Correct.
Right, that would be the,
That would be the differential. Can you do that with your, I just want to see what the increase, the proposed increase is.
it's that number, 2, 2, 3, 2, 7,
145.25.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I did the wrong, so that is an increase of $636,898. So that is an increase of yeah, 30% increase.
Okay. We're talking roughly a 30% increase over last year.
I think that's,
So that's why I'm concerned, and that's why I want to keep looking at these line items to see if we can just do a similar thing like we did with Jeff's group and try to stretch it out a little more, right? Try to offset some of these costs into a few other years to reduce that. 30%, I don't think my wages went up 30% this year, so I'm pretty sure nobody else's did either. So I think we just need to take a close look at it, and I'm glad we're doing that now.
okay, so let's go to the Public Works. And find the location. It should be on page 6, I believe. Is that correct?
Page 5.
Page 5?
Mhm.
Oh, is that under capital improvements?
Capital improvements is the 154,600. That in that budget number, that is $100,000 for the grinder, $50,000 for a fence, and the $4,600 is for an attachment for the Bobcat
Yes, that was at the Bobcat.
and a storage container.
So we can take the fence cost out for now, right?
And the grinder.
And the grinder.
So we're
So
we're
that-
just at $4,600, and we need to add $30,000 for the grinding,
Renting.
The renting.
So it's total of 34,600.
right.
What line item number are you on?
53100-820 highway cap improvements.
820, okay.
So that comes out to $34,600. So if we go to the line item, the 2964,044.13, so we are going,
$20,000 savings right there.
yeah, so
Pretty
we're
significant.
taking out $70,000. So it's minus,
out
no
of the
more than
gri-
that.
out of
No,
the
we're taking
grinder.
out
And
120.
we're cutting
120.
120.
Yeah. Because
Roughly
of-
$120,000 savings by
Yes.
reducing that budget line to $34,600 from $154,600.
So we
Am I
get
hearing
down
right?
to 2,844,044.13. So that's where we're at right now.
And that would reduce our borrowing by 120,000 to make it $806,230.50.
Oh, we're not done yet. But thank you.
fine.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna keep track of it because we need these numbers in the minutes so
Right.
that
What was that figure, Susan?
800.
$806,230.50, and that is taking $120,000
Right.
out of the
Right, yep,
public
I got the
works.
120,000 out, and then I got Laura's, but I didn't catch yours.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't have the boat in here. The boat has.
It's already out?
It's
Yep.
already out.
Okay.
You know, what really has,
I'm going to go to, and I hate to do this, but I just want to look at the lake patrol budget, water patrol budget. Okay, so we budgeted, 2025, we budgeted 16,456, and it looks like the year-end estimate's only going to be 3,353. In 2026, we budgeted 17,000. Okay, so I think that number's way out of whack. I certainly,
And that is because of wages, but we certainly can reduce the wage part.
I mean, yeah, if they're only using 3,300 of it and we budgeted 17, I'm thinking we should take at least 5,000 up there.
We did lose a couple officers,
I understand all that,
Okay.
right? And
but we can certainly do that.
if we reduce it here, do we need to also reduce it in a revenue stream? Don't we get some cost share from the DNR?
we do.
We do, but it is,
It's supposed to be like 75.
it used to be at one time. It is now closer to 50% because more there's only a certain amount of money, and more municipalities participate in the cost share, so what we get back is closer to 50%.
And so we need, though, to,
And
what do you have in for revenues? We'll have to
that would,
also change it there.
and that would be under, I have a water patrol aid of 5,500.
Where are you? What
I'm
page?
on page 1, under
Okay,
public safety grant.
okay. And you have 5,000 there.
Yep.
So we would, if we're going to reduce how much we're spending, we have to reduce the grants as well.
Yeah, probably. But it's a percentage reduction, it's not a,
But is it worth, I mean, if we budget this, it doesn't mean we have to spend it.
well, it's all part of the borrow. Trying to reduce how much we're borrowing.
Well, we can also talk about a line of
This
credit.
this is just one little area we can reduce to reflect a little more accurately of what we're spending, is all. If they're only gonna use 3,000, why are we budgeting 17? I'm just saying we can reduce it a little bit to save a little money. If you have other ideas with other line items, bring them up, but that's just one area that I saw.
Reducing the wages would also reduce the FICA, not
We would
a
have to
huge
reduce the
amount,
FICA,
but,
yeah.
yeah.
Every thousand is gonna count here. Those are the big ones I saw, Lord. What else would there be things that we could look at?
Okay, let's stay on this.
Okay.
So we need, if we want to reduce it, last year we did have, at the beginning particularly, we had some trouble having patrol out there. But everyone complained about that, including you, Jimmy.
And I did.
So
yeah.
I think that reducing it to the 3,000 is not good. I think our goal would be to have additional water patrol out there. So I think we can't keep it as the 3,000 that we,
No, I'm
that-
saying that my projected budget for 2026 would be 12,000, not 17,
okay.
to better reflect spend, and it's just a slight reduction there.
Well, that would be taking $5,000 out
Correct.
of the, and then we'd have to recalculate FICA.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So-
so it'd just be, the total would be $12,000.
Why did we spend 15,000 in 2024 though?
Because we had more, in 2024, we had more hours logged than we did in 2025.
So then why would you want to go down? If you want increased patrol of Lake Ripley, why would you want to go down
And-
to what we actually spent one year?
And that's why I did the 14, because we did increase wages a little bit. So I guess I was projecting that we would increase the number of boat hours to be more similar to 2024 than it was to 2025. But that is, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, because I don't know
Right.
what the personnel
Okay,
is
so
like.
And it's an
guess-
estimate,
It's
and
an
if they go
estimate.
out and they do more hours and we go over budget, then we revisit next year. But it's a reduced savings of $5,000.
Well,
We
it
gotta
has-
reduce somewhere. This
But
is
it
just
has
one
to be,
little area.
it has to be a realistic. The real question is, if we put less money in, are you going to be satisfied? Is the community
With
going to
the
be satisfied
service.
with less hours? This year, they were not satisfied.
Yeah, but they only spent $3,000.
Yeah, but it's still a service,
Yeah.
just like the brush.
We gotta reduce somewhere. Whoever else has got ideas, bring them up. Because
Well,
I'm not in favor of $900,000.
But we can't reduce it on paper without reducing it in reality. So
Right.
the question is, how much did they go out in 2024? Did that seem like an appropriate amount of time? Were they going out every weekend? If we go
They
down,
were out every weekend. They were out every weekend.
and so
They logged some hours during the week. I don't have exact numbers. All the information is in the
Right.
clerk's office, in the time cards,
Yeah.
but I don't,
So this
because if
extra,
they get to this budget, like if they're going to be patrolling more like they were in 2024, and then by the end of the summer, they've run out of hours, that's it, they don't get to go out anymore.
that's what I'm proposing. Now, there's a,
So that means
but you're
those-
not going to be happy with it.
I will be happy with us spending the allotted money that we budgeted, but we
Well,
didn't
why-
do that,
why
so there's a
can't we
rollover.
What is
do
their
the
purpose
line
out
of
there,
credit
Jimmy?
What's
for
that?
the loan?
What is their
and
purpose out there?
Then we
for
don't
this
have to
water patrol?
borrow
They
the
patrol the
whole
lake.
They
amount.
patrol the lake for what
You know what I mean?
purpose?
Yes.
Just to
I-
enforce the ordinances.
Is it safety? Is it?
Yeah, to enforce our ordinances.
Okay. Do they have any income from that?
They get reimbursed, yes. So there's a cost share involved with the income?
again, in
Okay.
2024, we received, from the cost share, we received we budgeted $9,649, or excuse me, that was the actual. We budgeted $9,700 in 2025, and we only received $5,949. So that's why, for this year, I reduced the budget of the cost share. Because and even 5,500 is probably optimistic based on the number of hours that they put in.
So the extra rollover money now that there's gonna be, it's gonna be about 13,000 rollover, because it wasn't spent. It's gonna go to the general fund at December 31st.
And what happens with some of that money goes to pay for some of the accounts where you go over budget.
Correct. Right, so what I'm saying is, we're gonna make an estimate of what we think they're gonna work next year, this is all this is. We're gonna reduce this line a little bit to save money in overall budgeting, and if they do end up going over a little bit, that's exactly what it's for, but we just buffered that by $13,000, because it wasn't spent this year. So that's my logic. You guys can disagree with it all you want, but I gotta come up with ways to save money, and that's just one little way that I came up with. I'm willing to listen to anybody else who's got ideas.
David,
I'm
thoughts?
just baffled about what the water patrol purpose is.
The Water Patrol is basically to make sure that there's safety on the lake. They're going out there to make
No.
sure they're not speeding.
I grew up on the lake
The
all my
wake.
life.
They enforce the slow no wake,
Lake boat ordinance.
Okay.
The lake boat ordinance.
right, to make sure that they have flotation devices, that kind of thing.
So we had a standard
But
where
it's
they
all-
were out there every weekend.
He grew up here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all a public service. They're not finding people, they're not,
Oh, they are.
No, they do
Okay,
find
okay.
people. And we do have that in there as well. Don't we have revenue from any type of citations?
And that number has gone down, that revenue number for citations has gone down quite a bit this year, too.
Oh, yeah, if they're not out there,
If
they
they're not
can't.
out there.
They can't.
Well, and neither is the road patrol. So for forfeitures in 2024, we realized the actual was $27,322.21, and we budgeted $20,000 in 2025. And we are estimating that we'll only receive $10,000 in 2025. So that's what the budget is for 2026.
Okay.
So it went down considerably in 2025, from 2024.
I think the question needs to be, how often do we want road patrol out there? And then we calculate how much that is. If we're reducing it, we need to say, these are how many hours you can go out. That's it. And then you have to save hours for the holidays, for Labor Day. We can't not have them out on Labor Day weekend. So if we reduce it, we have to reduce the number of hours they're actually going out. And maybe this year we have more staff, police that can man the boat.
The unfortunate thing about trying to secure and reduce the budget is you have to offer a little less service. And I say a little less service because you guys just heard what the borrow's gonna be. So we have to be able to explain that we need this,
We've already
to bring this in a little bit. We
Right.
have, but is that
We have-
enough? Not in my mind.
Well,
I
that
think
means
it
though, if
is.
we're dropping the service, we can't say, well, if it goes over, it goes over. It means that when
goes over its stops.
Right.
it just stops, that's
Right.
it. We don't find it anywhere else.
We have
So can you live with that?
Yes, we
You-
have a crisis today, and next year we may not have the same crisis, and we can adjust accordingly.
Right,
This is what budgets do, guys.
right. But that means for 2026, you can't complain that they're
That's
not
correct.
out there.
But they weren't. They
They-
spent $3,000 last year.
I know, but you did a lot of complaining.
Because they only spent $3,000.
Right, so if they only spend 12, we have to be.
Then that's it, that's the budget.
That's the budget.
That's right.
They cannot, so
That's
we
right.
need to calculate how many hours they're gonna have.
That's right.
What do you,
So
Do you have
that,
any comments about the boat patrol, how you see it for next year?
Well, I can tell you that one of the officers was combative with cancer for most of the boating season. He was
Right.
our two officers, so that had a pretty big hit to us.
Mhm.
and then we had an officer resign, so.
Right.
I think we have to consider, it's the same thing with,
It wasn't happening the way it was years prior, but unfortunately, people can't help cancer.
No, absolutely not. But do you feel that this year, that officer will have a different, or will have other officers that can pick up some of those hours? Do we have an idea from your department how you feel that could?
I think
Good.
we've done a good job hiring more
Mhm.
officers that are willing to work the whole. I think I'm not what we've got in those funds, I will be increasing again.
Okay,
If we have the staff to do it.
okay. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. So if we reduce it, then that's it. They're not going to be able to go on any more hours than that. So we'll have to monitor that quite a bit. It won't be able to be every weekend, all weekend long.
So that's what
I
you
don't
would.
know. I think we need to take a vote on this.
Well, you vote on the entire
It's
budget,
the
but
budget,
What do we want to do right now with this number? We need to make a decision, so we vote on the final. We need to vote if we're going to reduce this, or we're going to keep it.
Yeah, I made a suggestion, make another one.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna make many more, so.
that's fine, but we need to,
we talked about this whole budget once before.
Okay.
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 So Joy and David, how do you feel about reducing this budget? Do you want to see that reduced, or would you like to see it the same? Because in the end, we have to vote on the whole budget, and it includes all these sections.
I think we can't reduce the water patrol, and I don't think we can reduce the road patrol either. I mean, you're constantly hearing complaints about Ripley Road, Park Road, 18, and then we're hearing complaints about, people are gonna know, oh, they reduced the budget, they're not gonna have enough hours to work the boat patrol. So,
Okay.
I mean, Susan went through and did a good faith effort in coming up with these numbers. And what I'm saying is, if we take out a loan to pay off what we have to pay off, and then for the extra, a line of credit for the, whatever it's down to now, $200,000 line of credit on top of that, we don't have to use that all. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I absolutely do. Let's just finish up the boat thing, if David wants. I am in agreement with you about the boat. David, how do you feel about the boat? Do you have any strong opinions one way or the other?
No, not one way or the other. Just was curious at why the numbers were large and small. If we're going back to the 2024 number, it's going up from where it was.
Right, because we did increase their salaries.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and you've got more, seems like you got more and more
Right,
bodies,
okay, all right.
which isn't a bad thing.
So we have, okay, so everyone has weighed in on the boat. Now, I think we should weigh in on Joy's question about the line of credit. So her suggestion is to take out a loan for like our loans that we know we have to have. We
To
already
pay-
have those.
To pay off the short-term loan that is existing. And then instead of increasing our short-term loan for next year, we pay off the $600,000 loan, and then we take out a line of credit for 200-ish.
After we took out the 120,000.
There's $206,230.50, and we take out a line of credit. There is still interest on that line of credit, but you only,
We're not fixing the problem, though. We're just taking out a loan.
Well,
Trying to-
Yeah, you
it
don't- you
may
don't-
with
you don't borrow
with
the money.
reduction in interest.
it may reduce your interest cost a bit.
If you
Okay.
don't use it, you don't pay interest on it.
But we haven't reduced the budget not to use it. You're taking a loan out to pay the
A
the
budget is
expenses
just
that are
a
in hand.
guideline. It doesn't mean that you're gonna spend that. You know what I mean?
I know how budgets work.
Okay, but, so what you're saying is if we budget that, that's what we're gonna spend, is what you're saying. But that's not true. We can budget it and not spend that much.
Or you can spend over. You have two options.
And
Well,
we've done
Our
You're
both.
not
goal
solving
is
the
not
problem.
to go over. The goal is to be realistic
Right.
with what we want to do. And yes, circumstances change, and we might not be right on the mark, but the question
If
with.
we're truly looking at trying to reduce the current borrow, we have to go through these lines and make suggestions on what to reduce,
Okay,
if that's what we want to do.
okay.
That's what I want to do. If you don't want to do that, that's your opinion, that's great. But ultimately, we have to vote on increasing this borrow by a lot.
Right, well, it seems like the consensus is at this time to keep the water patrol as presented in the spreadsheet, the $17,000. Is that correct?
Not me.
Not you, but the consensus, the the majority, to keep it at,
Or at least,
okay, so what else?
if you're gonna take money out of it, don't go down farther than what we actually spent on 2024.
I talked to the Wisconsin Towns Association today, and we could reduce the budget by not paying overtime to Public Works. According to state statute, municipalities have up to 3 weeks to clear snow after a storm. And if we did that, we would be able to reduce overtime hours. The Public Works Department would only be plowing during their regular hours. So that means if it snowed on the weekend, they'd wait till Monday morning to get out there and plow snow and salt. That is an option as well. I'm not sure that that is a good option, but it is an option.
Could they comp their hours instead of pay overtime?
No,
They can't do that?
no.
I'm going to say no, in my
No.
opinion, that if it snows and they need to plow, I think that
The public's going to be outraged.
we need to be out there earlier,
I'm
especially.
I'm
No, I
just-
appreciate that.
How
Jeff
much
can
is
weigh.
it? How much are we talking?
For
Well-
overtime,
Yeah, where's the line item?
it would be under wages. And our wages, they went up some.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 5.
Five.
Okay.
Yeah, but how much of it's overtime?
I calculated 60 hours of overtime for each employee.
How many
Eh.
employees?
We have 3 employees, and they all have different wage rates. So I can't give you an exact number, Jimmy, but time and a half is,
And is that pretty typical, Jeff, of 60 hours per year for
For each one of your staff?
each one of you? I mean, what did we do this year?
I don't break it down into straight
180
time.
hours of overtime?
I don't
I
break
just-
it down into, when I do wages, I don't break it down into straight time and overtime.
Okay, so it's 180 hours of overtime for your staff for a year. Does that seem high?
That's what I'm budgeting for.
Right.
I'm just saying, is this an area we can look at and take a few thousand? I mean, we got to start looking at some things.
I'm all for not plowing on weekends.
I mean, is it 180 hours worth?
Well, it's not just plowing, I mean, it's extra projects you finish up instead of coming, in summertime, instead of coming back the next day for an hour project.
Cleaning up Ripley Road.
It's, it's,
Watching the brush pile burn.
yep, we
Yeah.
eliminate that. So now that's out.
Going out if a tree falls in the middle of the night, things like that.
Yep, Jefferson County will call Jeff out at all hours of the day and night to take a tree off the road or some other kind of emergency.
I'm not saying
Which is
this is easy,
necessary.
but we got to come up with ideas. There's nothing easy about this, you guys. It's easy to go get a loan for more money.
Having
Well,
worked
we
for the
kind of-
highway department for a number of years, I don't think that snow plowing thing is going to fly.
I don't
No,
think so
no.
either. I am just,
No, I know, you're reporting what we were told,
I'm
what the
reporting
statutes
what
allow
I was
for.
told. Right.
No, people,
I,
if you think people would be upset if we stopped the brush pile or the brush
Yeah.
pickup, they would be really upset. And it is a safety hazard when we're not plowing, and it would make plowing harder as well, because it would pack down.
I understand that borrowing has gone up considerably, but the last couple years, our costs have gone up considerably, and we've lost ARPA funding. ARPA funding, for whatever, filled a lot of budget holes, and now it's gone. And now we are kind of left.
We're in a stuck year because of that, and the solar panel hasn't kicked in yet, the revenue from solar. So we're in a year where we just have to tighten the reins. Yeah.
But there is not a lot of fluff in the budget.
No, there isn't. I think you did a good job with what you did with this budget.
And,
And
and
I
the
don't like
requests that we
seeing-
put in were the recommendations of department heads so that they can serve the residents. It's what they felt that they needed to do their jobs. Now, I understand that you talked a little bit about the grinder and the fence, and that it would be an ongoing project. But there is not a lot of fluff.
No. We have to remember that we have, over the past couple of years, increased salaries. That has also raised our budget, but we're trying to get them to a point where they're competitive, that we want to retain our good people. We want to be able to recruit new people when needed that are good. So it's important that we do keep up with salaries, and it's unfortunate that it's just
And,
contributes to the budget.
We have also increased our professional services, attorney and
We can cut
engineer.
some of that.
Well, I'm looking at that one next. So let's
let's
finish
just-
this discussion and go to the next one.
Well, as I started to tell you, Jimmy, about looking into the figures, and that is something that I would like to do for you guys going forward, is to do some more in-depth looking at what was budgeted, what was actual, and then finding out where those differences come in. There's, attorney fees this year are $60,000 over what was budgeted. $60,000, that's a lot.
Yep. I
And
see
some
here.
of it will be
I'm looking at it
reimbursed
right now.
Some will be reimbursed, but
Right.
some of it is,
Some of it, and that's what I want to look at, Laura, is to be able to determine, all right, what part of it is him, and can we bill for?
Well,
What part of
okay,
it
so
relates to
I get
fire
that.
commission? Or what, where are these increases coming from? Why are they so much more than what we had
Okay.
anticipated?
So let's get back to where we were. Thank you for all that. Again, this is nothing against you. You did a great job putting this together. I'm
It is-
criticizing ourselves, and I'm gonna try to do some cutting here.
And-
That's just me as a supervisor. You guys can
And-
agree or disagree. That's what we all have the right to do.
Yes.
and if you listen to the news,
Yep.
every municipality in this part of the
That's borough. I
state
get that.
is
So are
coming
we-
up against
I
budget,
understand.
these same budget issues, and are looking for ways to be
Right.
creative to either get more revenue or to reduce their spending. So we are not alone in having to borrow in order to provide service.
I understand that, but we had a huge jump this year, and this is why we're talking
We,
about all this.
we did.
So are we saying that we don't want to touch the overtime? Is that what I hear the board saying?
Yes.
Oh, I don't,
Okay,
I'm
so
not
let's-
recommending that in the least.
Okay, so then let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
So let's look at lawyer fees. We have budgeted 65,000 for lawyer fees. In 2025, we budgeted 20. Now, I understand that we went over in lawyer fees because of the things that happened this year, and again, it's just an estimate. You never know when things are going to happen with legal
Correct.
fees, but I'm thinking that we could
Yeah,
certainly
some of
adjust
it,
that a little
quite a
bit.
bit of it, quite a bit of it we'll get reimbursed. So
We
I feel
can-
like we can.
We don't need
cut
to budget
those.
65,000.
No, we
No.
can get a lot of help from the Towns Association. We don't need to go through Michael for
Some things we
the,
do. but-
the ordinance.
We
I
need
mean-
to have him review and go through that. then.
Well, review it, but we don't have to have them drafted.
He doesn't typically draft them.
A review by an attorney, I worked with attorneys my whole career, and a review of an ordinance that a paralegal does for him,
He
it would
hasn't-
take him like 15 minutes.
But he's not drafting the ordinances, is what I'm saying. He's not doing that, so.
So, well, let's get to the numbers. So
Okay.
we budget, and these are all good points. 20,000 was the budget, it went to 65. How much can we reduce that to get to a closer number that's fair?
I don't think you can.
We're gonna spend 65,000 on legal fees this year.
We're pretty much defending ourselves.
I'm thinking so.
Okay?
With what?
For what? Why did it go from 20 to 65? What are we gonna
But-
incur?
But,
If you look at the legal attorney fees, and this is just me coming in from the outside and seeing some of the bills, 15,000 budgeted for attorney fees gives you only a little over $1,000 a month that can be spent on legal fees. The attorney that we have is $250 an hour. So, and this is just me saying this, I don't think the 15,000 was a realistic figure to be put in there. I think it's lower than what it needs to be. Granted, you could go out and look and do a survey and find out what other attorneys are getting, but I think 15,000 to start is artificially low for, unless you're able to limit what the attorney is doing very strictly. Like I said, you would have to cut it down $250. Like I said, you're getting $1,000 at what? So 4 hours per month would be about all you would be able to spend on it. And I'm simply asking, is that realistic? Is it realistic to think that you're only going to have the attorney working with things 4 hours a month? Because that's what you can afford based on his rate. So I'm thinking the 15,000 is probably
Where are you getting 15,000 from?
15,000. If you look at the 2025 budget, on the first line, legal and attorney fees, $15,000.
What page are you on?
Page 3.
3.
So I'm looking at the 15,000 that was budgeted for 2025 for legal and attorney fees, 51300-212.
And we
So if
spent
I
20.
take that 15,000 and I divide it by 12 months, that gives us a little over $1,000 a month that we can spend on attorneys.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, the attorney bill that I saw is being billed at $250 an hour. That means, is it realistic to think that the attorney is only going to be used for roughly 4 hours a month, all year round? I don't think that $15,000 is
No,
a realistic
I'm not saying I
number.
disagree with that, but I'm saying we can pad that a little bit, but it's 65,000.
Well, and you spent,
A lot
What?
of that, again, a lot of that is
well, and that's.
expenses that you can't account for. But what you can account for is, like you just broke it down, where there's so much per month on a normal operating basis.
Okay, and $40,000 will get you $13 or 13 hours a month.
We're not gonna spend 13 hours a
It's
month
gonna
on normal
vary. It's
operating
gonna
business.
And it is going to vary, but
It is
he
going to.
spent a lot of time with getting agreements with the preserve at Oakland, and all of those agreements, I mean, the entire plat isn't done yet. There's still work to be done. There is still work on the arbitration, that there's still work on that. We have ordinances that we have to write. So 13 hours a month, that goes pretty quick.
Yeah. And you're looking at your actual 2024 was 52,000, so that 40,000 is not a weird number.
No.
Of that 50-some thousand, a lot of that's reimbursable, right? We're getting reimbursed for a lot of that, or any of
For
it?
the 24,
For 2020.
yes, we did get an innovation grant to get that.
Correct.
We discussed that. You know, we
And-
did have
and-
this
and-
year just
and-
working on the EMS contract with Fort.
Yeah, the
that
fire
was-
contracts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The $40,000 is for attorneys, the $25,000 is for engineer.
So we do
If-
have engineering.
We do have engineering in here at $25,000.
For what?
Well, they may do some, they've reviewed plans in the subdivision.
That-
They've
And that should
looked
be
at-
covered.
It should, but we still have to pay it.
We still have to pay it, and then we have reimbursements at another
Correct.
spot. So some of these here are the costs that we are paying, and then in the other section with revenue, it's the funds that we're getting reimbursed to us. So some of it is not, in the end, we're not paying for. It's a
Correct.
pass-through.
But then they also, the engineer also looked at some roads, I believe like Gusta,
Potter.
Potter,
There were some
some of
issues
those kind.
there.
So there's just other projects, miscellaneous type projects, so to speak, that require some engineering services.
So a lot of that 25 will be, and the engineering will be reimbursed with the preserve.
That's what I'm saying. Can we reduce that amount now?
Well, it's just that if we reduce it here, we reduce it in the revenue, so it's kind of,
We do, that's correct.
The only thing you can reduce is the actual attorney's fees,
Right.
so we don't get anything back for that.
right. But some of those fees in there are reimbursable.
Attorney fees?
Yes, all the ones from the preserve.
This preserve, yeah, Mr. Didion pays the attorney's fees regarding the,
Just the legal fees?
Well, how much do you have in the revenue for reimbursement of that?
well, see, and that is,
So it's not going to be 40,000. If you go down 20, we still have some reimbursable.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Please.
So the topic that I'm gonna be talking about, which is number 14,
14.
that may incur some legal fees.
What's 14? What are you talking about?
No,
On the agenda.
the
Agenda item.
agenda.
Oh.
Because we're trying to put together a resolution so that every time we change an ordinance, we do not have to publish.
But the flip side of that is there's roughly 30 ordinances that we may have to amend. And so that means there's 30 ordinances that the lawyer may have to look over the language that we put in place to amend those ordinances. So I'm just throwing that out as that's possible part of that amount.
And we did receive 27,000 in miscellaneous revenue. I did not budget for miscellaneous revenue.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, are you?
You're not supposed to. But that some of that 27,000 is reimbursed professional fees from the preserve at Oakland.
Okay, let's get back to the legal fees. Are we going to reduce this? Joy?
Considering,
Well, where is it that we have the reimbursables on this? We don't have any
we
of it?
don't have,
We don't have it?
no.
Okay.
We have miscellaneous income, but we don't budget for that.
Okay. But part of the attorney fees are,
They are.
they are going to be reimbursable. So I would be
Correct.
okay reducing it because we do know that some of those costs will be reimbursed for both engineering and attorneys. How much they're going to cost next year, I don't know.
Well, if we just don't have an attorney at our meetings and we don't call him or email him for any little tiny question you have, I think we can reduce the attorney's fees somewhat.
Well, what they're talking about is yes, but I mean, what they're talking about is the reimbursable amount, which is a bigger amount that we can look at the budget reduction.
Yes. That's
It's a much larger amount.
It's a much
And yes,
larger amount.
I mean, what you're saying is an individual item thing, like what Laura decides to do with the legal fees, or the lawyer. She has a budget to use for legal fees, and that's how she uses it. And that's
Sometimes
to protect
he's
the
been
Oakland
very-
residents.
Yes.
But
he-
this pass-through
But, I
thing,
mean, you're talking about not, cutting for boat patrol, that's protect the residents too. I mean, you say one thing with one hand and do another with the other hand.
well, that's not how I did it, Joy. What I asked for is a slight reduction in all of these things, which means a little bit of slight reduction in services if we agree. You don't have to agree, but you just mentioned lawyer fees are too much, so if we want to reduce that, then we need to talk about it. Are you willing to reduce the legal fees? You're the one talking on both sides, not me.
I'm willing to reduce the
Okay, well, now
legal
we're talking the
fees.
same thing.
I have been I mean, we can get a lot of help from the Towns Association. They have attorneys, they'll
It's a
call you
good
back.
resource, absolutely.
They don't have to,
They are
Yes,
called.
Mike.
They are called.
We
by-
do call them.
We do call them all the time. They are called. Our attorney doesn't just write up every ordinance. He's not doing that.
The legal advice from the Towns Association is more general in nature. When our town attorney does things that are much more specific to our situation.
How much is the pass-through that we can talk about numbers here? Or how much are we
I
talking
don't know what
about?
it'll be next year.
I don't know, that's very hard to estimate because,
But it's in there. It's included in that 40,000. But we don't know. Okay, so I think we could
I
probably.
think that's what we're going to spend, but I don't know how much
Much
of
would
that
be-
40,000 is going to be reimbursed.
So I think some of it will be reimbursed.
Pick a number.
I don't know,
It's an estimate.
10,000.
10,000? Okay, 30? You okay with that, Joy?
okay.
David, how do you think?
So now we've
I don't
taken.
know
Let's
why
hear
we're
from
going
David.
line by line in the budget that is, I mean, the budget is just a guideline. I don't know why we're going line by
Right.
line in it.
Well, I don't think we were really going line by line.
It sure
We
seems
just
like it, Jimmy.
identified this one, but
So we've taken 120 plus another 10 off the borrowing, is that right?
That's,
Thought we did line
and
by
I
line when we
believe
were in the
that is
closed session.
Jimmy's objective, is to reduce borrowing.
that is my objective. And that's what
So
we're
that's-
doing.
I
We're
think
being
we-
very successful in doing it.
I think the engineering, a lot of those costs were reimbursable as well. I think we could go down with that quite a bit. I think a lot of that was
What line item was that, Laura?
the next one, the
So
legal
lower the
engineering.
attorney fees.
Okay, what are you thinking there, Laura?
I think, I didn't go over how much it cost, but the majority of the work was for the subdivision and the stormwater. I would say they probably spent a good 15,000 or more on that. I would say the majority of the engineering was for the preserve.
So you can go down to 10,000?
Yeah, let's
Budget
do that.
10,000?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's another 15.
It's working, isn't it? As we look at these. Well, is this what you want to do? Do we want to save taxpayer money? I mean,
Well,
Well, if we
my
don't,
idea is just to take out a line of credit. You don't have to borrow it.
still borrow.
Borrow what we need to borrow and then
Let's keep
line of
moving.
credit.
Let's keep moving.
I gotta get the new figure from Susan, because we have to get it to the bank
Yeah,
if we're
let's keep
doing
moving.
borrowing, so I'm waiting on her figure.
Just a minute.
Yep, I'm waiting. Told you I'm a patient woman.
You are. We're down to $781,230.50 for a borrow.
781, 230, 50.
Correct.
What else is there, you guys?
Does anybody see anything else that they would like to reduce? Or you think we could? I think those last numbers are, are fine as is, based on what we spent this year for reimbursable fees.
The,
Is there anything else, Jimmy, that?
where's the amount that we put in addition to the road maintenance? What line item is that?
Road maintenance is on
On
page
page
6.
And that 190,000 is the $40,000 to match the county a grant.
What line
And
item are you on? What
I am on the top one.
The top line.
Whoops.
So the 190 includes what we would pay for the entitlement. So the entitlement that we have from the county this year is $32,000. That is included in this money because we are going to pay it, but it's also included as a revenue. So basically what we would be spending is $32,000, $2,000 less than the 190, correct?
We have a grant of $32,000.
And that's in here.
But we budgeted a little bit more because I was told by Jefferson County when we did the grant that we should budget a little bit more because it may be a little bit more expensive. So that's why I did the 40,000, and then there is 150,000 budgeted for road repair, and that is and that is based on the 5-year road plan.
But isn't the 32 included in here too? So it's 32 and 90? I mean 32 and 40 that is in the 190?
No,
No. So it's
just the 40.
just the 40 is in there. So we have to have that in here.
We have to have the
We have
40.
to have it so that we can use the county money and repair a road.
Correct.
That's the 40 additional.
Yeah, at least it's gonna.
Okay, but we put 150 additional in there.
To
40 of
do
it
other-
has to be used for that.
Correct?
Yes.
No, 40 on top
The
of the
40 has
150.
to be used. The 150 is to do another road project according to our road plan that was put together by Public Works.
Okay. Can that be?
Because
what
what
road-
we're trying to do is get our roads repaired because there were several years when we did nothing.
Okay.
And
So
if-
we're kind of playing catch-up.
And so some of these roads, if we don't do some repair on them now,
We'll have a year like 2024 when we did $747,000.
Yeah,
That was a grant.
that was the grant for Park Road. But some of these we'll need to, what is it called, Jeff? The chip seal?
Yep, seal coat.
Seal coat, and some other ways to try to extend the life of the road. So we want to do that so that those things that we can do might add, 10 more years to the life of the road?
Yeah.
And then if we don't do it in these roads in the next
And then
couple of
they
years,
become the problem.
we may need to do a complete reconstruction.
And that's more expensive.
What road are we talking about?
Any of
Oh,
those.
this is for many projects?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what can we do in that line item? I'm not saying reduce all of it, but where can we reduce there and push it off another year or something?
Well, the real thing is we've been pushing it off for many, many years, so
Been
at
too
some point
long.
it's gonna get to critical mass. We can't keep pushing it off every year, because then we're gonna have a road that could have been seal coated 5 years ago, and 5 years from now, we have to spend for a whole reconstruction, which would be 5 times as much money. So we can't be,
We already voted on, we already went through all this, and this is what we voted on to spend.
Okay.
At that conversation.
That's your opinion?
So I
That's
don't,
okay.
I don't think we can, I think we just leave it.
Jeff, did you want to add anything with the road budget as far as the needs or which roads you'd want to do.
Never have enough money for roads.
No, he's always,
It's not even close to what the 5-year plan was, but it's better than nothing. But, I don't wanna sacrifice that. There's so many that we're already behind on, that we said we were gonna do a number of years ago, and we put off and put off and put off.
yeah, this is not a place to be looking.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else that we can cut in this budget.
Yeah.
We have cut 145,000.
Yeah.
And that makes it, that would make a budget of $2,819,044.13, and our borrow would be at $781,230.50.
You said 2,819,044.13?
That is correct.
Okay.
And the budget borrow we have here is 728, but you're saying something higher than that.
781,230.50. We reduced the borrow by 145,000.
Okay, I'm looking at the debt service and it says 728. What is there another spot?
Well, part of it, we do have to pay, we have 2 road grants as well.
Okay, so that's
We-
just,
We have to pay 81,000 and some for Ripley Road, and then we have to start paying on Park Road, which is 40-some thousand.
okay, so on here, on the last page, the 728,663, that does not include the 2 road projects. Is that what you're saying?
It does include the 2 road projects, because the debt service on the bottom of page 6, the 103,703.43 is the principal for Ripley Road and Park Road. The $20,980.98 is the interest on the Park Road and
Yeah, I
the
see where you're talking about.
the Ripley Road.
But
And
this-
then we have the 567, which is this year's short-term loan, and the 35,999, which is the interest on the short-term loan.
And it says the total for that is 728.
Correct.
So, but if we just reduced it by 140, how do we go up to 781?
That- yeah.
Was the total amount of borrowing not
Because,
on here?
I don't know. I can't explain that one.
So if we,
The difference would be covered by other sources of income.
The number, right?
Because, well, that is what we have to pay for the for our borrowing, but we also increase some of our expenses. So we,
Yeah, I think what Laura was trying to do was go from the beginning borrowing number.
the 728, and then I thought we were reducing that by 140.
no, it is,
Because the
it
beginning
is,
borrowing was.
it is the short-term loan in the revenue. That's what we're reducing.
Oh,
You're reducing, the ones in the expenses, those are what we have to pay.
okay.
And this,
So is it this number? I didn't look at this beforehand. So is it this 926,230.50?
that's what we're reducing.
This is what we're reducing here.
Okay. All right. So the 926 includes the amount on page 7.
Yes.
Okay. And that is That's a non-negotiable.
That is non-negotiable.
So that's a difference of an extra $197,000 roughly, to go from the non-negotiables up to the short-term loan of
What-
926. Is that? No, that's not what you're saying. Okay.
No, no,
Okay.
because we increased, there were several line items that were increased. It wasn't just the borrowing.
Okay.
And that's what you're doing, is doing it just on the borrowing, and that's,
Okay. Well, I think as far as the Public Works road project budget, I think we need to really start working on these, like I
Yeah.
said. Otherwise, we're gonna fall really far behind, and our budgets in the next couple of years are going to be a lot higher and more than they would be if we spent the money now and did some preventative maintenance.
Right, and like I said, we've already gone through all that. We had a meeting that included the 5-year project.
We did, and we, actually,
And-
is much less. It was like 250,000.
right, and we reduced it to 150.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know why we're kicking that again.
We also included $40,000 for design fees for Hope Lake Road.
And that will not be spent if we do not get a grant.
Correct. But we had to.
We have to
but-
put it in there.
Right.
But that is a contingent on the grant. So
Receiving
we
the
won't
grant.
know if we receive the grant until
May.
the spring, maybe.
April, May.
Is that 40,000
It's,
covered in the grant then?
No, no.
it will be. So we would have to pay that money in 2026. And then once the road project is done, then we can submit that for reimbursement. But we would
Yes.
have to pay it in 2026, and we would not get reimbursed until after
Till
the
it
project was
happens.
completed, so in 2027.
Or
2028,
2028.
depending.
Right. Because it's a reimbursement
Right.
grant, you have to spend it first. And you have to submit all your bills and
Mhm.
things like that before they cut you a check.
Right. So we have to include it as that.
Right, because we will be expending it
Mhm.
in 2025 if we get the grant.
26.
Or
26.
26, excuse me.
Right. But we won't know if we will spend that money, if we don't get that grant, then we will have to revisit the project as a whole.
Correct. Yeah, and there's no way of knowing until the grant's submitted, and, well, the grant has
The
been
grant's been
submitted,
submitted.
but we won't know until the Department of Transportation makes a decision, and that is April.
Right. So that is money that we would
Not
Get-
use.
we wouldn't use. If we didn't get the grant, if we get the grant down the line, we would get
But,
some reimbursement, depending on what
But-
grant amount we receive.
but we
It varies.
cannot cut that out right now.
No, we can't cut that out right now.
What is line item 51,530,
What page are you on?
page 4?
Assessment of
Assessment of property, $20,000, 400.
Oh, that's what we pay our
That's
assessor.
contract.
We pay our assessor?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
They don't work for free.
they sure don't.
I think at this time, I mean, it was a pretty tight budget to begin with. I don't see really
Whoops.
anything else we can reduce unless you want to reduce.
No, we're not doing any more. Not
But-
for Public Works,
No,
no.
they would have to reduce services. That's the only way.
That's the only way we can do it, is reduce services.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The Human and Health Services, is that for the That's for the Jefferson County Humane Society, or what is that for?
What page,
54100.
what page are you
Six.
on? 6.
Health and,
$1,000 there.
so it's the animal control?
The animal control contract, that is with Jefferson County, or the Humane Society of Jefferson County. The dog license fee to the county, a portion of what we collect for dog licenses goes to the county.
Okay.
We do pay $2,000 to the Union Cemetery and the North
Yep.
Oakland Cemetery for maintenance.
So the
We
one-
already voted on all that.
The one right below it, what is that for, the 37,218? Recreation and education.
We do pay the city of Fort Atkinson for some parades and
Well, the
things like
budget
that.
last year was 12,500 and it went up to 37.
Wait a minute, where,
Oh, yeah.
The
Recrea-
boat
Yeah,
launch,
it says boat
oh,
launch.
it's the boat launch.
so
We're gonna be,
we,
yes,
so we
that's the
approved-
engineering services.
We approved a proposal for the 42,000 for engineering, up to 60% of the cost to do the engineering. We will submit they'll submit the grant for us, and then after, there's a good chance we could get all of the boat launch paid for with, between the DNR grant and the federal wildlife grant.
Okay.
And
So,
then-
So, but we have to pay, and then we would be able, but we have to get that engineering done this year.
right. So when it gets reimbursed, right?
But it might not be reimbursed in 2026.
Right,
Most likely won't be.
2027?
yes.
Maybe.
The,
And we don't.
the timeline for now is to submit in 2026 the 2 grants.
Right, I remember
And
all
then
that.
once we,
So.
And then
as-
we also pay for the, putting in the buoys and taking
Yep.
them out.
Yep, it's all part
And
of that.
then we pay for portable toilets down at the boat
Yep,
launch.
that's all part of that.
Yep.
So when we get the grant reimbursement, if it's next year, or this year, or the year after, we budgeted to pay the initial amount. We're
Right.
gonna get it reimbursed at some point in time.
correct.
That money coming back in, why isn't it going to pay off the debt? Where's that money going? It's going in the general fund.
You'll have to ask Susan that question. I mean, she's our
So
treasurer.
we apply for the grant, we spend the 40 grand, we don't get reimbursed until next year, we budgeted it this year, that 40 grand's coming back to us. That should go to reducing debt on all these issues that are grant funded, that we're paying ahead of time. That's gonna help us a lot. I don't know that money's going,
So
that money
next
is
year,
going.
we wouldn't have to,
We wouldn't have to take as much loans.
We
out.
would reduce this line item by 40,000.
instead
Yeah,
of
we can.
borrowing to pay off the
Correct.
$781,230.50, instead of paying that whole amount, we'll use that $40,000.
It would show up, I would imagine, in the revenue
Yeah,
section here.
it'll-
the
But it's
next
going to
year.
the general fund, and it's not being accounted for to pay down debt at this time, the way I see it here. So when we get the grants that come back funded, like the road grants and all these other things, that money's coming back next year or the year after. It needs to go to reducing the debt, in my opinion. That's going to help us a lot moving forward.
So Jimmy's saying if we have the 40,000 or whatever it is for the grant, and we're not getting paid this year, we're getting paid in future years, he's saying, is it going in the general fund, or why isn't it just going to reduce?
Because it isn't 100% reimbursement.
No, but it's some amount of money coming back.
So when you get that amount, whatever it is, why can't we put
We
it
can.
right onto the loan?
We can if we decide to.
You know what I mean? That's what he's saying.
It's going to the general fund.
Instead of depositing it into our checking account, why don't we just
And
put it on the loan, right then and there? Is that what you're saying?
It is, and I'm going to make a motion shortly, but yes.
to reduce the debt, you mean?
Correct.
Well, for Park Road, for instance, we spent almost $1 million, and we took out a line of credit for about $750. Our reimbursement was $450, again, I'm guessing, So we only were reimbursed,
Right.
so there was nothing.
In that case, we're talking about the 40,000 that are going to the engineering fees for the boat launch. We're gonna probably get that money back in following years. That money's gonna come to the township. I
Okay.
want it reduced in the debt, and that's what I'll make my motion on.
Okay, that has not been my experience, that we have received enough grant money to reduce the debt.
Well, just to make a payment.
But we do pay, it does go
Well,
to
Make
you.
payments
Well,
all
the
every
thing
day.
of it is, we only pay once a year.
Well, we can pay more than
Right.
that.
That money can go toward, what I'm saying is that the money that we're getting can go to reduce the debt, instead of go to general fund.
Okay,
I mean, that's just what, I'm gonna make a motion, so, okay.
That's just an accounting issue.
Yeah, that's the accounting issue, which will help us borrow less money, I hope, down the road.
I don't know about that.
So,
I don't know if we can vote on that right now for monies for, in subsequent years. I don't think we
That
can.
is really not the agenda item. The
Yeah, we
agenda
really
item is
can't
the
vote on that.
2026 budget.
Right.
And we still have quite a bit of the agenda
Right.
left.
Okay, so I
You're
think
probably
we
right.
have exhausted the reductions, I believe. It sounds like Joy has made that clear too. David,
I'm with you.
Jimmy,
what's the question?
the question
Are you good with?
is, did anyone want to make a motion about our budget? I think we have exhausted our conversation and our debt reduction, unless there's another item that you would like to discuss. Because I think we've discussed all the big ones. We've made a reduction.
Of 145,000.
Right.
So we need a,
We need a motion.
We need a
go
motion.
ahead.
You got the motion, somebody's got the numbers. I don't have the numbers.
Okay. Just, I'm going
Susan's
to
getting us the numbers.
I'm going to recalculate just
Okay.
because I want to make sure, because we need this to be exact.
Yes.
Okay. So our total budget will be $2,819,044.13
That's what I have.
we will borrow $781,230.50.
That's also what I have.
Okay.
So that would be the motion, and we need that motion to pay off our short-term loan and to settle all of that at
Okay.
Badger Bank.
I will make a motion that we accept the budget for 2026 as stated with the $2,819,044.13. And the other number was,
The borrowing number was
Borrowing number.
$781,230.50.
Okay, so we have a motion. Would anyone like to second that motion?
Go ahead, you want to? I was gonna, because we saved
ahead.
145,000.
Please feel free, Jimmy.
Jimmy seconds it.
Jimmy seconds it. We have a motion by David, a second by Jimmy. Any further discussion? Hopefully not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Budget is complete. Thank you very much, everybody.
Ching, ching, ching.
Okay.
Before- Jeff, have something, have a treat.
Oh, yes, please take a treat with you.
I'll give them in the morning.
Okay, all
He
right.
will, 'cause
Leftovers.
then-
Okay. Thank you all for going through this.
okay, we got the next line.
Next line item is discussion of possible action on building inspector contract with MSA Professional Services. So I have the MSA contract that they sent over to us. It's pretty straightforward. We also have a draft of the fee schedule.
I was going to say, it's 3 pages. I
It's-
made it bigger because it was teeny tiny.
Okay, so we could see it.
Yes.
So as we discussed in the past, you know, the city of Lake Mills lost their building inspector, and we either need to go with them. They're contracting with MSA. I had reached out to at least a half a dozen, I think probably 8 building inspector firms that are in the surrounding area, quite a ways around. Most places are just, they don't have any additional room to take on another client. MSA is contracting with the city of Lake Mills, the town of Lake Mills, and the village of Cambridge. I did talk to Lucy. They've had MSA for a while. They've been very pleased with them.
So we're doing this on our own? We're not doing the
Not through
contract?
We will vote on that. We can, we definitely want to, that is part of the discussion.
Oh,
I wanted to say that, that they do have an online system that we can see what permits are out there, where everything stands. They are going to come and speak with Wendy and Laura Lowry to get them up to speed with how to use it. I think it would be really smooth. They'll take care of pretty much everything except we will need to take the payments and print out the permits and things. And they will bill us at the end of, you know, every month, and we'll just pay them. And so then we will work it that way if we want to do this ourselves. It sounds like it would be fairly straightforward. We could
Try it
see.
the first year or first 2 years, and if we want to make a change in 2 years, we can.
We can. I think, though, it'll go smoothly. They've been really helpful with everything. So I think if we take it on ourselves, it wouldn't be too much additional work. But if anyone feels that it is, we can still request that Lake Mills be the middleman, but then they will be taking a fee.
are you comfortable?
I'm comfortable with it. It sounds like they're willing to come out and show us what it is that we need to do. If all we're doing is taking a payment, which we take payments for all sorts of other things, and printing permits or whatever, I think it's probably something we could do in the office.
Very good.
Okay, let's try it for 2 years.
Yeah, and then we would also have to adopt a fee schedule. This is the Town of Lake Mills fee schedule that they just recently adopted. It's the same general way we currently have our fee schedule, which is a base fee, and then an amount per square footage, depending on the type of permit that they have. So you can see that. So this will cover all of their costs and leave some for, you know, some for us for administrative costs and so forth.
So the $5,000
That's just a-
arbitrary fee, I don't understand that.
That is just for some reason, I think it's because they don't just do building inspections, they do engineering, and they just had to put something in this line item. So it's not going to be that, it's just going to be whatever permits come in, they will charge us.
Whatever is on our fee schedule is what it is.
Right. Well, that's not
Well-
what they're necessarily going to charge us. So this is what they're going to charge us. So they have in the service agreement
Oh,
what they will be charging the town to do the service.
okay.
And then
I
if we
see
go
that
with
on the
this
back.
fee schedule, we will be able to pay for that. We're not taking anything additional out of pocket. Does that make sense?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
So I really do feel that they will provide very good service for us. And they are in the area, so they did tell me that how they work it is they will do inspections Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That meets their requirement of when they need to get out. And then they will line them all up together in the area. So that'll save a lot of travel costs and to keep our fees down. And that will benefit all of the communities that are using them as their building inspector. So I think it would work out really well. And the main question is, and it seems Wendy's answer is that she thinks the administrative we can take on again. We've done that in the past.
Want me to make a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the MSA professional service contract
And the fee schedule.
and the fee schedule.
Okay. Anyone want a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry about that. Okay. We will move on to discussion and possible action on ordinance. It's to 2025-72 fire protection and fire prevention. So we had our public hearing last month, and we had a comment regarding just clarifying who would be getting the fire protection services and inspections. And so it's been added in here about commercial versus residential to clarify that. But otherwise, you know, it's as we had discussed in the past. So since we've had the public hearing, we would be able to vote on this today and enact it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept ordinance number 72 as written.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. We'll move on now to,
The Cable Commission.
so, yeah, so Joy's just going to provide an update of what you discussed at the last meeting, and your next meeting is coming up.
Right. First of all, Melissa is taking over Gary's job. Gary's stepping back. He's still going to be in the picture, but he's reducing his hours. Basically, just being around to help out with Melissa. And at our next meeting, which will be December 19th at 8 a.m., we'll do more of the financing and the contract for Melissa's wages and Gary's wages at that time.
That's when that'll be more official on that.
And, right, appointed officially. And our responsibility, or our members should consist of 2 board members and 1 at-large. So we don't have an at-large. Tom and I have been the board members, and so we need to appoint an at-large person, and we should do that at our December 16th meeting.
We'll have to do all 3 because your appointments have expired. So we'll have, your appointment and Tom's appointment have expired.
Oh, I
So-
didn't know.
Where did you get these rules at? Those rules, where did you get them? Is there bylaws or is there a contract?
It's
Or
fr-
where-
It's, what Gary said is what, I don't have
Well,
a
Can you
written
get the contract
document.
for us?
Yes, that would be great. According to the ordinance for the commission that I saw on the,
It's on
on-
our ordinances. We have an ordinance.
it doesn't, you'll have to provide it because we don't have anything that says the makeup of the commission is. But on the village's ordinance that they have, it says that it's just 3 people from the village and 3 people from the town. There's no designation.
We don't have an ordinance.
No,
No.
not that to my
We have a
knowledge.
cable ordinance.
It doesn't talk about it's very old and it doesn't talk about the commission itself, unless
Okay.
you have something that I don't have. So if you have that, please just provide that and we'll look at
Well,
that.
So I don't know, I was going by what Gary, we've always had 2 board members and 1 at-large, and our at-large person has not been active lately.
Okay.
Well, let's find out what we're supposed to have. We'll get the paperwork. and
I
we'll
assume
move
the
forward.
director knew what we're supposed to have.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's not in
maybe.
charge of the commission. The commission is made up of the village and the town, so that's up to us to designate that.
So you want a written document from?
If we have one, otherwise, you know, we can appoint somebody from, we can appoint David to go to that too.
Okay. Well, anyway, we should do something, have it on our agenda
Yeah,
for
we
December
will.
16th,
We will do that.
so we can have that straightened out.
Yeah, we will do that.
And Melissa has gone through and archived all the meetings, and they're on the Cambridge website and also the Cambridge Cable 12 YouTube channel. So if you want to look up an old meeting or something, you can do that. And also, jinxed ourselves tonight, right, Melissa? There's a problem with downloading. Gary and Melissa had been thinking it was the speakers, but it's not, because the sound after like an hour and 50 minutes.
Like
when you-
hour 50, 2 hours roughly in there.
Right, when you download,
Yeah, there's something in the converting process when it finalizes the file, for some reason, past like the hour 50, 2 hour mark, the sound gets messed up to the point that you can't perceive words.
mhm,
What I've done at Cambridge is I've set a timer on my phone for like hour and a half. When that timer goes off, it's just like stop conversation for like a few seconds. I pause the recording and then just restart it pretty promptly once it's done processing. And then I give you guys the go ahead to resume whatever you were conversing about. Cambridge, we've done this now a couple of times with the Cambridge Board and also the Audit Finance Committee. That has worked fine. The sound is perfect on all the different parts. Cambridge has taken it sometimes that it's just like we do a break, or sometimes it's just I stop it for a second and then just they keep going once it's restarted. So if you guys want to implement that as well, then that's how you guys want to do that.
like for tonight, it would have been best to have done that. But in the future, if we're going to have a longer meeting, if we could take just like a 2-minute break after an hour and a half, so she can do her thing, and so then we don't lose the sound.
Okay. Seems kind of odd, but
They researched
Fix
with
it.
the speakers and everything, and it wasn't any
Yeah.
of that. It's no equipment problem, it's just something with the downloading of the,
Yeah, it's something with how it converts to the file when it's done recording, because like, if I'm just hearing you guys through these headphones right now, you guys sound perfectly fine. It's something with, once it finalizes into a recorded file, that something on there messes up.
okay.
so if that's all right, we could do that in the future.
I guess that's fine. I mean,
Mhm.
we,
And I
otherwise,
can let you guys know when that happens, when we have to like just briefly pause the recording, because if you guys are in mid-conversation, I might have to butt in, but if there's a time where you guys are having no conversation, I might just do it at that moment and
Okay.
then just not alert.
can, if it's an hour and 28 minutes and we're about to move to another agenda item, can you do it?
I can do it earlier. I
Okay.
can do it earlier too.
All right, so just at a good,
Just depends on kind of timing of things.
yeah, okay, so, all right, so pay attention to that, because I won't,
Yeah.
because I mean, I'll just get,
Yeah.
just realistically, I mean, I can try to be mindful, or someone else on the board, but there's a good chance that I'm not going to be mindful of the time.
Yeah, I'll be setting timers on my end.
Okay, all right, all right,
Alright.
that would be great. All right,
So then that's just the, if we have it on our agenda for our next board meeting,
we will do
I'll
that.
find out how many we're supposed to have on, and if it does
It's just
consist
3
of an
person.
at-large person.
Yeah, their ordinance does not distinguish, it just says 3 people appointed by Town of Oakland. I didn't see anything about that on our ordinances, but if you could find that and send that
Okay.
over, that would be helpful.
And then, so that would, we'd have that then by the December 19th meeting at 8 AM.
Okay. All right, anything else, Joy?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll move on. Discussion and possible action on Code of Ordinances, Resolution 2025-02. Laura Lowry's going to come up. Thank you for staying.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate that. So she's going to go over this very big task that she's been working on. It's quite the project.
Yes. So I'm going to mainly talk about the code of ordinances, but then I'm going to touch base on the thing that I brought up when we were talking about the budget, because we were recommended to make two changes. One is code of ordinances is basically all of your ordinances in a book. Well, we have that currently, but it's done by number. We have all the original, well, as many of the original ordinances that we can find. Some of them are quite old. And then we have all the amendments that go with them in this book. But what a code of ordinance has to be is by chapters. So what this will do is, historically, when you create an ordinance, amend an ordinance, or rescind an ordinance, you have your town board action, you may have a public hearing, but eventually you have to post it in the newspaper. And somebody asked the question, well, our ordinance is several pages long. That's really gonna cost us a lot of money because newspaper rates have gone up over the years, and we've seen that. They've now created this option of having a code of ordinances. If you have it by chapters, you're publishing it in the book. You have the book available in the town of the clerk's office. Anyone can come in and see it during normal business hours if they want to. So you're gonna save the money that it's gonna cost to publish it in the newspapers. But you have to have it as chapters. So the first thing you have to do, and I think in your packet, there's the resolution, which is 2025-02, and it talks about creating this code of ordinance booklet. And that's what you will be hopefully taking board action on tonight.
So with that being said, then would we be agreeing to not publishing the ordinance in the paper?
Exactly. Now, there's still things that you have to publish in the paper, like your budget stuff,
Right,
voting
but not
things.
the ordinances.
But not the ordinances. The state statute is allowing this now because they realize town boards are having issues with their budgets. They're trying to save money where they can, and this is one thing that they're allowing town boards to do, as instead of publishing it in the newspaper, you publish it in your code of ordinance book.
But there, we may have to have a public hearing.
Yes, all that is still the same. The upfront, your board action, your public hearing, you still have to have all of that work done. It's just the tail end of it.
Not going to the paper, it's going to the book.
It's going to the
Means it
book.
won't be notified paper-wise.
Yep,
And then how would we notify people? Just on our website?
yes, yep.
Well, the
You
ordinances
would-
were
you'd
on the
have-
website, right?
Yeah, we would still put the ordinance on the website, but you would still have the board meeting where you've notified people that you're going to be
Correct.
talking
Discussing
about this ordinance, amending it, rescinding it, whatever. And then that would be the first notice, basically, that your town residents would have, that you're going to be talking about that ordinance. It may take you a meeting or two to get there. I think like the fire one you just talked about took a couple meetings. But now tonight, since it was agreed upon, you're implementing it, if we had the code of ordinances, we wouldn't have to publish it. But we do have to publish that one, and I think it's what, 3 or 4 pages, something like that?
Yeah.
So that's gonna cost a little bit of money to publish that in the paper. But once we have this, you've implemented that ordinance, you're going to say as part of your action that then that ordinance in the future would be published in the code of ordinances.
So that's not, okay, so all the ordinances are still online.
Oh, yes,
So even though the office is closed and they can't access the book, they can still go online and
absolutely, absolutely. But this portion makes it where you don't have to publish
In the
it.
paper.
Posting it online doesn't have anything to do with
Okay.
that. That's just it's something for the town residents. But this, having this book is the piece that allows you not to have to publish it in the paper.
Okay.
Yep. So the thing you have to do is you have to create chapters. So also in your packet, there should be 2 things. One's listed official publication, and then the other one, it starts out with a line that says row labels. What I did is, I went around to several municipalities across the state and looked at those that had code ordinances already created, and looked at the chapters that they had.
Okay.
Then based on those chapters, on this one that says row labels, I took the current ordinances and placed them into the chapters. Now, this is what I did. If you see something in there that you think shouldn't be in that chapter,
They're
or,
not in numerical order anymore.
no, they're not
That's the
numerical
change.
order, yes.
But they're
Oh.
still considered like ordinance 36.
Yes,
Okay.
yep. But if you see a chapter you think, well, we don't need that one, maybe we can combine it with another chapter, or there's an ordinance in a particular chapter you think should be in a different chapter, that's what we would need you to decide before we can build the code of ordinances. And then the last step of this is the official notice. We have to put something out, there's a couple publications we still have to do. And one is we have to put out an official publication of saying, these are the chapters of our code of ordinances. Not necessarily which ordinances are in each chapter, but these are the chapters we're gonna go with.
Telling them we're doing it. The notification of telling the taxpayers we're doing it.
Yes.
And this has to go in the newspaper.
This has to go in the newspaper, yes.
Okay.
So,
Other towns are doing this?
yes, because again,
Most other towns are doing it?
yeah, they've realized the cost of publishing is skyrocketing. I mean, it's bad for the newspapers because they're gonna have one less thing that they're gonna be publishing and getting money for, but for each of the individual municipalities, they're saving a lot of money on the publishing.
And this would be helpful, and it's just like, well, not as many people are really reading the paper
That's what-
anyway.
exactly what I was just gonna say
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
People don't even pay attention
Right, so
to
there's
the
not
newspaper.
probably that many people, even if you're reading the paper, there's not that many, probably only a percentage would necessarily be reading our
Right.
ordinances in the paper.
Right.
I'm fine with it. It seems like good job putting that together.
Okay.
And so
So
what
do
do
you want
you
this-
need us to do tonight?
We'll look over the chapters, the titles, and the ordinances that are in them quickly, if you can, and let me know if that all looks good. And then if we have to have any changes to titles, that's the big thing, because then we'll have to change our official publication that we're gonna put in the newspaper.
So we can add to each individual title, we just can't change the title. Like when you put a new ordinance in, you just put it in here, you don't have to
Exactly.
repost the whole thing.
Okay.
Right,
So the main thing right now, do these chapters make sense?
right,
And is this the standard chapters that
Yes.
most towns are using?
yes,
Okay.
yep.
So do you want a typo?
Yeah, I forgot my pen though, so. Thank you.
So
Where are you
for
looking?
Property management is, you forgot the R.
Thank you.
And then, regulations on Lake Ripley, can we expand that a little bit, because that's where,
Well, that's just the title of the ordinance, that's not the chapter title. So I just put a quick hit on what the ordinance would be that's in that chapter.
Yeah.
Where they would be. Okay.
Yep.
Where'd you see that one at?
That makes more
Oh, it's
sense.
Second
under
page under
waterways.
waterways.
here, because that's where the wake boat,
What am I missing here?
Under this
Waterways?
labels portion, Jimmy.
Yep,
So if you're trying to find an ordinance, you can find it now instead of saying, I don't know the number of the ordinance. I can't read it."
right.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense.
So, okay, so you don't care about expanding this part right now?
right, just the
Okay.
chapter heading.
Just the chapter heading
Yep.
is all you care about?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay, that's
Yep.
the only question, I just had that one typo then, when I looked
Okay.
this over.
Well, if you see any other typos, you can fix it.
Just do a spell check.
okay. The two things to note about this is, in the official publication, there is a fees chapter. I'm making it chapter 15. But on your list here, there is not a fees. It's because right now, fire number signs, special assessments, return checks, town hall rental, open record requests, compost, and road vacation are not associated with an ordinance, but they do generate
a fee.
Oh, okay.
There's money that's paid. So in the future, you may want to have an ordinance that would fall under one of those categories, and then that would go in the fee category.
Yeah,
So
you're
that-
gonna create a fee category.
Yes, just,
That's not on here now.
it's gonna be in your book, but there won't be anything in it right now.
Right, but it's not on here.
Right.
You're gonna add it on here.
Right,
No,
it's,
no.
it's on the official publication on the last page.
Chapter
That'll-
15.
Chapter
On the
15.
other one, because right now there isn't any ordinance
Oh.
associated with it.
So it's just for future use.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
idea.
Yeah, that's
Then,
good.
then the other one is, I have a miscellaneous on the official publication, which is chapter 28, the last chapter. And that's because right now we have a number 12 ordinance, which covers assemblies. And I don't have the original ordinance document, but I have what was printed in the newspaper at the time.
I saw that.
In
and I looked at
1970.
these.
And I probably was put in place for maybe the Vietnam War protests, something like that, I'm not sure. So I don't really have an ordinance. I have a copy of something that was in the newspaper. So I put miscellaneous on the official publication, although we really don't have an ordinance official, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're good with the chapter titles, then what we would have to do is publish them in the newspaper after tonight's meeting, if you approve this resolution. So that's what you have to do tonight.
So where is the miscellaneous?
28.
It's on the official,
The very back page.
that's
The
on
back
the
page.
Turn it over.
chapter 28.
The official
Oh.
publication. So the official publication, we need to include everything that we potentially want to use, all these chapters that may not have anything in it, but we could in the future, and we don't want to go back. We want to,
Right. And you can add to it in the future. You would have to have another board action to say, now we've got a new ordinance that doesn't quite fit any of the chapters that we've created. We're going to create another chapter, and that's where we're going to put that ordinance in.
Yeah.
And then we would add it to the
In 5 or
book.
10 years, you
But-
revisit it and.
Yeah, but we're trying to cover as much of it as we can at this point.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm good with it. I think you did a
Okay.
great job.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is really great. Thank you so much for all this work.
All right, we're not done yet.
Okay.
Holy cow.
So the reason we have to put this in the paper is at the next board meeting, you're going to look at an official ordinance on creating the code of ordinances. You first have to have a resolution, which you're talking about tonight. Then we're gonna publish the list of chapters in the newspaper. Then at the next town board meeting, you're going to look at ordinance 2025-73, which is just making this, codifying it, making it official. And then after that, there's one more publication that we'll have to do to say that we're doing this. And then that should be the last publication for any ordinance. This also covers ordinances whether they have fines or penalties in them. It used to be, if an ordinance had a fine or a penalty, you had to publish the whole ordinance in the paper. Other ordinances, you could publish just a summary. But even those, you could just publish in your book. Okay? All right, so the second thing that they're recommending that we do is go to a fee schedule. You have roughly 30 ordinances that have a dollar amount listed in them, whether it's a fine, a fee, or a penalty. You have about 5 resolutions that also have a dollar amount listed. They recommend you go to a fee schedule, that a fee schedule can be looked at budget time. You know where all your fines and penalties and everything are. And you can say, okay, this year I want to take the dog license fee from $10 to $15. You don't have to hunt through all your ordinances to find out where that is. It's all in your fee schedule. And you can determine that at your budget time once a year. To do that, you're going to have to amend 30 ordinances. That means if we didn't do this, if you wanted to go with a fee schedule, you'd have to publish 30 ordinances, the amendments that you're going to make. So that's one reason, another reason that we're looking at this, to get this done. And the reason I brought up the thing about having the lawyer review them is the language has to, once we put this code of ordinances in place, the language to do an amendment to an ordinance associated with a chapter in your code of ordinances has to be very specific. That's just one final detail that they want you to take care of to make sure that you're handling your code of ordinances correctly. So if you do go with the fee schedule, there's 30 ordinances that you'll be looking at to amend in your code of ordinances to take the dollar amounts out that are specifically noted and putting them on a fee schedule.
So
That's
that ordinance would say that according to the fee schedule?
Yes,
Not
not,
not listing a specific amount?
yes,
Which makes it
Yeah.
probably easier to change the fee schedule later on.
Yes.
Instead of changing the ordinance, you just go back to the document and change the
Yeah,
fee
Yeah.
we'll
schedule,
just
which
do
makes
that at
sense.
budget time, we can
Yeah,
make
it's-
changes.
the fee schedule is under a resolution, so you would have to have action, a board action to change the resolution for that, whatever dollar amount you're gonna do
Sure,
on the fee
makes it
schedule.
simpler. right.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
All right,
Great
so
job.
the thing I'm asking for is you to look at your resolution, take what board action you would like on that, and then we will move forward with steps that we need to
I'll
take.
make a motion to approve resolution 2025-2.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you
Any
very much.
nays?
Thank you, great
Thank
job.
you.
Holy cow, that's a lot of work.
So that's all we have to do?
Okay,
Till
Thank
next
you,
month.
thank
Put it
you,
on the
thank
agenda for
you.
that's
next
all
month.
we have to do.
It'll be on the agenda for next month. for the
Yes,
next
it will be
step.
on the
Well,
agenda for
amending all
next.
those ordinances is going to be awful.
That's next year.
Okay,
Okay,
who's doing the
so
approval
now
of disbursement?
we will
Approval of
move on
disbursement.
to approval of disbursements. We have the disbursements on your desk.
Okay, I'll move to approve electronic funds transfer in the amount of $5,742.83 through check number 1694 in the amount of $1,047 for a grand total of disbursements for $214,047.35.
Okay, we have a motion.
14,047.35?
214,047.35.
That's what I got, okay.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor of the disbursement, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Oh, wait, right.
Announcements.
We will move on to announcements. That's usually the clerk's job.
Oh, it is it?
Present?
I don't know what to
Okay,
announce
well,
for this,
let's,
so.
we do, well, one of our announcements, Joy already said that, you know, they will be having an upcoming Cable Commission meeting. It looks like there's a WTA executive, what is this?
That was tonight. The Towns Association.
No, this
meeting?
No, this is
is a
something
down-
different.
this is next month.
Oh, this was if anyone is interested in being a vacancy on this
Oh, that.
committee, they can go ahead and submit
Okay,
a letter, if anyone's interested.
okay. Was there anything, any other announcements that we
There
had?
is a, did you get the email from Ron Wagner for Jefferson Fire?
Oh, yes, yes, there'll be a Jefferson annual meeting on, we're not sure yet, December 3rd or December 10th.
Correct. To discuss the budget with the other municipalities, the 5 municipalities with the chief.
Okay. We'll let you know, we'll send out an email when that date has been finalized.
Yes.
Melissa would like to make an announcement.
Yes.
I apologize, Joy, I should have been clearer about what the archive was. It's not about board meetings. It's actually, if you ever tuned in to the local cable channel, you might see like events around Cambridge or Lake Ripley that have occurred in the past, like the Dip for Dozers, or even just like past school events, like sports games and such from the Cambridge High School or the Nicolay Middle School. A lot of those have been archived and are put onto a OneDrive so that people can go on there, watch, download whatever they want to see, at least what's archived on there. Majority of it was a lot of these events from the Cambridge High School, the Nicolay Middle School, there's some of the elementary school there. Some of these date back to like even the 1990s. That some of them date that far back.
So it's not our
No,
meetings?
it's not the board meetings, it's a whole
oh,
different
okay.
archive of different shows that have appeared on the local channel, so.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Great, thank you for
Yeah.
that. We appreciate it. Any other announcements? No. Okay. So we will move on to correspondence. You have a public comment that was sent to Susan that you can, it was about our board meeting. You can look at that. We also have a letter from our attorney. He talks about the arbitration audit update. He had said he would put that together for us, so that is in your packet, and that can be shared, if you so choose.
Well, and also Mr. Tootin brought up the CCAP printout for that arbitration.
Do we all have a copy of that?
He just gave this to me. It's from CCAP,
Oh, okay.
and it just shows that there is a status conference November 24th via Zoom at 9 o'clock on the arbitration
Okay.
lawsuit.
I'm sure that's not open to,
Well, anybody can,
Yeah, if you don't have the Zoom information, which I don't think is on there, you go to open court and listen to it, because the judge will call the matter and have the attorneys on Zoom if they choose to use Zoom.
okay.
I'm just saying there's a public status report.
right, it's a public hearing.
Oh, okay.
And if you go to CCAP, they have usually the listings by judge.
Okay, why don't you give that to Wendy to copy, and she can put it in everyone's mailbox.
Okay.
Okay. I don't believe that there was any other correspondence.
Not that I'm aware of.
There was something from the Towns Association about, and you had that out?
Yeah, we had that.
Yep.
That was it.
Okay.
All right.
So our next meeting date will be December 16th. As we move on to our last agenda item, the adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, second? All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Great job, you guys.
Thank you, everybody.